Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. I am your host, Lise, and I am barefaced today, okay? Because this is my mom hair. I don't care how a long weekend look, all right? So love it or hate it, this is where we're at right now, all right? Don't judge me. This is where we are at, okay? So I apologize. I was so exhausted yesterday because, again, my daughter's birthday party was yesterday. Um, and I was up late Saturday night blowing up balloons to put in her room from when she woke up. And on Sunday, because yesterday was the party. And so I was busy, very busy. So I didn't go to sleep until late Saturday night. I was exhausted, and then I woke up at about 6 in the morning to start doing like food and putting up. There were so many decorations because it was a luau. We had a luau, okay? We had a freaking luau, and I had a tiki pinata for the kids, and we did sand art in their little seashell necklaces with all the different color sand. So we did sand art for the kids, and so it was a great luau. They had grass skirts, they had leis, they had sunglasses, we had flowers for the girls for their hair. We had this little thing that says, "What's your luau name?" And it's like the first letter of your name, how old you are, like the last digit of your age, and then the month you were born, and it gives you your luau name. And you put it on a sticker and you put it on, and the kids loved it. It was so much fun. I have some pictures for you guys, but since Thursday's Thanksgiving, Friday, mostly everybody has off, and Friday is my birthday, I figured I would celebrate with you guys Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because Thursday's Thanksgiving, so nobody will be here, not even me. And Friday is my birthday. So I really haven't decided what I'm going to do for my birthday yet. I'm a little short on the amount that I would need to do the bus. A lot of it short. Well, a couple $100 short. And so if it doesn't happen and I don't make it Monday and Tuesday and call last minute for a bus and say, hey, because there's plenty of companies you can call last minute. If I don't make it in the next 2 days, then I don't, and I figure out something else to do. That's just life. But nonetheless, I'm going to try because I'm never get to celebrate. And I figured, hey, but I do want to celebrate with you guys. So think of today as like a Sunday show, right? Because we miss Sunday. So think of today like a Sunday show, right? I will show you guys what my house looks like for the kids. And so I did not have a chance to take a picture while the kids were like running around and doing all the stuff, but I did take a picture before everybody arrived just to, to what it looked like because it was a blast. The kids had a blast. And so I shall show you. I shall show you some of the pictures. I found this thing that I thought was really cool at Walmart, by the way, for all you moms out there, right? For the kids. There's this thing you can put on the cake. So this is the living room. She's coming out of the kitchen. We have one of those like things you put over the doorway. And so we got the palm tree over there, and we got the leis that we hung up everywhere for everybody to take their own. And then over on that table, sort of where she's walking, we put out all the hair clips, the luau hair clips, and we put the grass skirts there and the stickers and the thing that shows you what's your luau name, right? That was there. So we had that. And then the cake came out amazing. Seriously though. And BJ's makes amazing cakes, but this time I went with Market Basket because they had sort of the theme that I wanted, which was Stitch, luau for Stitch. And already buffering. We are already freaking buffering. Okay. So this is half of my husband's body. But that was the luau skirt that was it goes around the bottom of the table, and then you put the regular cloth around the top of the table. And so we had a spread going on for the kids, chips. And these were the markers. They're smelly markers. You don't eat them, but we put them in a bucket, and then we ended up moving them, obviously, to where all the other stuff is. It's something we forgot to put in the goodie bags. And so we just had the kids pick 2 or 3 of the ones they wanted. And then we had our little straws with the umbrellas, because what kind of party is it if you don't have umbrella straws for the kids and the adults, kind of party are we having if we don't have one of those? Okay. So we did that. Let me see. What's this one? Oh, okay. This one's a good one. So that's actually, you guys are looking into where I'm sitting right now. You're looking into my office, sort of. We rearranged some stuff, obviously, but that's half of the living room, right? That's the office that I'm in right now, this room that's straight ahead of you. And then to the left there, that's the kitchen. And then to the right through that doorway there is actually my room. You have to go through my room to get to her room. Yes, we had Tostitos and we had the cheese and the salsa. We had both. We had the con queso and salsa. And then we had French onion dip for the regular chips, of course. Duh, right? But the kids all had an absolute blast, I'll tell you that much. And I was so busy running around with the kids that I didn't even really get a chance to stop and take a picture of anything. I don't even know if my husband did. I forgot to ask him, to be honest. But there's hubby doing some good hubby duties and whatnot, helping with the table for the kitchen and all the stuff that the kids had there to eat. Let me see. What do we got here? How about this one? Oh, yep. This is before my little. So we had this game. This, you guys would love this. Me and my daughter played it the night before her friend showed up. So see the little flamingos on the floor right there? Well, guess what you do with the flamingos, okay? You put the flamingos on your head and you have to tie, there's like a tie and you tie them underneath, right? And there's these rings and each person throws the rings and you got to get it around the flamingo's neck, all right? It's hilarious, but it was also super fun. Super duper fun. It was very, very fun. And so we played that and we had the beach balls and we had the palm trees all blown up. There was a banana. The banana was, the little kids loved the banana and the dolphin. The little kids, they absolutely loved the banana and the dolphin. That was a hit. All the blow up props. Here's the banana. I'll show you guys the banana. Here's the banana and the dolphin. They're just chilling, right? Very tropical. But the kids absolutely loved them. All the little, because we had the palm trees. We had 2 palm trees. One I put in my daughter's room with some balloons and some other decorations were in her room. And decorations were literally on the wall every freaking where. I kid you not when I say everywhere, my whole house. And some are still up right now because I'm freaking tired. Okay. I'll tell you that much. Tired. Sorry, we were buffering. So Jesse was nice enough to send them to me so I could show you guys, you know. Me and Streamy are going to fight today. We're gonna fight today. So this is like my kitchen, and the happiness is homemade is already on my wall. So we had to put like, another. So obviously you guys see my cart is not, there's no cart behind me. This is actually the closet, and the closet door is open, and I don't know why, but it's a closet. And because I took my sweatshirt out. But we took the cart. We took the cart. No, I didn't. That's the door. We took the cart, and the cart. Sorry. So yesterday, I don't know what it was, whether it was the new soap my kid used or the new wipes to wipe her face, but she woke up with this rash all the way from here, all the way over here. So when it was allergic reaction and she's itching and scratching at it. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I can't send you to school like that. You're itching and scratching everywhere. And so I had to keep her home and I gave her allergy meds. And thankfully now it's starting to like recede back. So I think it was either the soap that she used, which was new, or the wipes because they were different wipes. Sorry, we were buffering again. The only 2 things that I could think of were those. So, but she woke up with this rash and it was all the way from the back of her hair to the front of her neck, all the way to the other side. Thankfully now it's come down. No, not the soap you gave me. No. Was not the soap you gave me. I love those soaps, by the way. And they were a hit at the party, by the way. People washing their hands with them. They loved them. I put them out on the bathroom sink in their little things, so some people could use them, and they loved those soaps. Never enough of anything, I feel like. There's just never enough of anything. But nonetheless, we put my rolling cart in the kitchen to put the drinks and stuff on. Now, on the top of that shelf is what my family has been using for birthday parties since I was a kid, and it's Hawaiian Punch and Sprite, and you mix it together. And so we call it ocean juice because it's blue. It turns out blue because you use the blue Hawaiian Punch, or blue Kool-Aid. You can use either one. But the container it is in, if you turned it sideways, it's actually a watermelon. It's a watermelon container, and it comes with like 4 watermelon like cups, which is pretty cool. But you push the button and it comes out. So the kids loved that. And then we had the little umbrellas. We had the umbrellas. I mean, it's not a party without the umbrella straws, man. All right, it's not. And also, fun story, you guys can see in the background my skull cups in the background. I absolutely love those coffee mugs. They're shaped like skulls, and they stack up. They have this holder. They stack up, and there's 4. I love them. I love them so much. And that big pad that you guys see on my counter goes under the Keurig, and I absolutely love it. It has a skull on it, and it's like Christmas themed. And I kid you not, I got it on Temu, and I love it. It's well made, and I found the exact same one on Amazon for like $8 more. So just saying, Temu's not bad for everything. All right, it's not bad for everything. So yeah, we had to have the umbrella, and then we had crackers, right, and cheese and pepperoni and salami, and then fruit, apples and grapes, and yes, they're shaped like pumpkins and turkeys, and they're so stinking cute. You can't, God, I can't make it bigger. God damn it. I'm going to have to figure out how to make it bigger. Because this is as big as I can get it. What I tell people is put me on the TV. That's what I tell them. Put me on the TV and then scan it with your phone and on a bigger TV and see if it works that way. Because I have to figure out how to enlarge it. I didn't make it. Maestro made it for us. And when I upload it, this is what it uploaded as. But that's what I tell people is put me on your TV, because I know it has worked before, at least, for people. So let's see. Let me go back here. Hold on. Was that the last one for that one? That was the spread. The cake is behind that. And then we had hot food, but that I actually didn't take a picture of the hot food for whatever freaking reason here. I didn't take a picture of the hot food. I forgot. Oh, this is the grass skirts, and so that's the little card there is that's the where's your what's your luau name? Make it bigger, right? And then you had the what's your luau name, and the little stickers, right? And then the hair clips and then the grass skirts. All the kids, even the boys, loved the grass skirts. They thought it was such a fun, they're kid size. They thought it was such a fun touch, and they were having an absolute blast. Although I will tell you, they're like plastic. They're made out of like, plastic, supposed to be grass skirts, but they're plastic for kids. And that freaking plastic was everywhere. And I was like, you can't vacuum that up because you could ruin the vacuum. So I had to pick that stuff up by hand, but I'm not going to lie. The kids had a blast. They loved it. So if they loved it, then I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it is what it is. The kids loved it. So, and then there was, the sunglasses. I forgot about the sunglasses. So I got this pack of sunglasses and I put them sort of on the ledge behind the vines and the flowers that I have up, which just coincidentally are always up and just kind of match the theme already. But they could pick anyone. Some of them were little tikis. We had some that were little crabs, some that were coconuts, some that were toucans. The kids loved them, obviously. And so those were a hit. Let's see. I think we're getting down to the last of them here. Oh, and the cake. Okay, you guys get the cake. So I'll tell you about, this was the cake, all right? And so, funny story. See that thing in the middle? See that blue thing in the middle of Stitch's face that I put there? So here's the fun fact about that, right? I found this at Walmart. I thought it was really cool. It comes with like confetti, right? And you're supposed to take half the bag of confetti and you pour it into the top. It's like a hole at the top, right? And there's a wick, like a candle that you light. And within 10 seconds of lighting it, which is why I let it last, it sprays up and then drops onto the cake and it's edible confetti, right? So as you can see, it's not on the cake right now, right? It's the cake is clear of the edible confetti at the moment, right? So watch though what happens after I light it. Then you can see the edible confetti has made its way all over the cake and it was pretty cool. I was actually on the phone. I didn't think you want to listen to screaming kids because I will tell you it did give me a headache. The kids running back and forth, screaming, and I was like, "Oh, for the love of God!" Yeah, the Lays, the kids loved them. The kids wore all the. I mean, obviously we have plenty of extras, but we can use them for like, a summer party. I'm figuring, you reuse, man. I was on the phone with Benny a little while ago, but I probably should text him and just tell him that we're live. Let's see. Let me see. I had to take a call. I was on the phone and an important call came in that I had to take, which is why I was a little late this morning, but I had to get off the phone with Benny to take that call. And then I was like, well, I don't have time to call back because I would have to do my live. So, but the confetti, popped onto the cake itself, which was very cool. Everybody loved it. The kids got a kick out of it, but it's edible and the kids loved it. So I did. I see, that's the thing, right? For me, and it's not just like my kid, right? But for anyone, like I'm just that way for anyone. Like I like doing and it to be something that someone would never expect, you know? And so I wanted it to be special for her friends, and it was obviously, but I do that even for people, that I know, right? Adults, because I always think about it this way. If it's never happened to me, what would it feel like for someone else to have a surprise party or for me to bring something cool to their party as a gift that they would never think they would get, or, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be thought out. And so I've thrown, I don't even know how many birthday parties I've thrown, a lot. I've done surprise parties. I've just planned the party, because I think about if it doesn't, what would it feel like if it were to happen for me? Right. And that's the feeling I want to give other people. And because I don't have a lot of family that's alive and my friends are all spread out in this state and in other states, and I don't have a car anymore, it's hard for me to get to see them a lot. And so, birthdays are one excuse to come together and hang out. And since my birthday was on Thanksgiving last year, that kind of wasn't a possibility. And so it's on Black Friday this year, obviously. But because I won't be here, I figured I will celebrate with you guys, today, Monday, and Tuesday. And today will be more like a Sunday show because yesterday was my little's birthday party. So we didn't have a Sunday show yesterday. Right? Too bad for the video. You're here now. You're here now. You just think about it over the years. When you don't have, when you don't have a live family to celebrate with, you think about the fact that not everyone else does either, right? There are some people who don't have a ton of a live family, or I've lost a lot of friends too. Like in my generation, there's a lot of people that died of overdoses and even things like car accidents. I had a lot of people I know die of car accidents. There was 3 that died of suicide. There was 1 that got lost in the woods on a camping trip and passed. There was, so I didn't even count the amount of car accidents, but, and just tragedies, like a garage fell on someone that I knew and she passed. Like, just like I kid you not, I've lost a lot of people that I knew. And so you think about all of that, and you're like, that's a lot of people to lose in your I'm only going to be 39 on Friday. So I mean, that's not normal at this age to lose that amount of people, right? Most of you know, I lost my fiance in the early 2000s to a house fire. That's not normal, right? That's not normal. That's, so it's like you think about all those people that you can't, that physically can't be here either. And you're like, gosh, like if they were all here, what a celebration that would be. And so I think about it for other people when I'm like, this person doesn't have a ton of friends or family that are available or around or that live nearby or that could attend. And you just want to make it motorcycle accidents. I've lost quite a few to motorcycle accidents. My friend Jimmy died right before he was, like the weekend before he was going to get married. I kid you not, in a motorcycle accident, at the Braintree Rotary. And speaking of motorcycle accidents and weddings, my friend Mandy lost her fiance the couple days before she was going to have her wedding as well. And that was before my friend Jimmy died, before his wedding. That was, he died years later. But two people, motorcycle accidents right before their weddings. It was awful because I remember, like, that friend of mine who lost her fiance in the motorcycle accident right before her wedding. She also had a baby die of SIDS. So like she's been through it, through the ringer. So it's like you think about stuff like that. And you think about how you just want to make one day special for someone, right? Like you just want to make that one day special, whether it's your kid, whether it's your friend, whether it's your family member. Like you just want to make it special for them. I'm blurry. Am I blurry to anybody else? Am I blurry? I shouldn't be. Let me see if it's blurry on this side. What is happening? I don't look blurry on this screen. Maybe it's because it was getting ready to buffer on me. You must have felt it. Is it better now? Is it better now? I think it was getting ready to buffer because then all of a sudden it started buffering and I had to disconnect the internet and reconnect it. So weird. So weird. So there was a lot of okay. No, if you saw it blurry, you literally said it right before it buffered. So I mean, something was telling you that it was about to happen. And if it's already buffered like 4 freaking times this morning, this is my luck, people. All right. This is my luck. All right. It's my luck. All right. So there were some goings on, some goings of the on last night. Apparently the turtle told people not to support Karen Reed, essentially. That apparently happened. So okay, cool. Weird. Apparently one of the points that he made, you guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna think this is hilarious. One of the points that he made, ready, was the civil suit isn't fighting for your life because it's a civil suit and you can choose, right? You can choose to do a civil suit or not. And those cost a lot of money. But that is a choice that you're making to file a civil suit. That's a choice. You don't have to do that. You don't have no. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. So his gripe was it's a civil suit. Okay. You can't hear sound because I had myself muted and I shut the camera off for a second. I was dealing with the house, with the little. But so yeah, so he's mad essentially because Karen Reed's team is asking for people to I can't win today. It's like buffering every 10 I can't win. Lynn might be right. It might be everybody in the internet shopping and it's just like this is my luck. Benny is a wanted man. Should feel special, Benny. Everyone's asking for you. Like, where's Benny? Where is he? To be fair, if you weren't here, I would ask where you were too. I apparently missed your live the other day, and I didn't know you had one. And I was asleep. I think it was nighttime. I must have been asleep. And I was like, or maybe it was like during the day when I was trying to do the party, and I was like, God damn it, I missed it. I missed it. Yeah, so Nick Rocco posted the fundraiser for Karen in her civil suit, right? But again, a civil suit is something you choose to do. You're choosing to do a civil suit. That's not something you have to do. You're not fighting for your life. You're not going to go to jail if you don't win it, right? So, but his point is nobody needs to donate to Karen Reed because she's already free and her defense fund it's not a defense fund, it's a civil fund and she doesn't have to do it. And I mean, in that aspect, okay, cool, he's right. He's right. But also, same thing to him. He could have paid his lawyers 10 times over already with the money he got, right? And then he's telling everybody that he got a loan for a house. Well, where are you spending the money you're getting? Shouldn't it be on the attorney if you are asking other people to give you money for it? Or are you saving your own money and spending what people give you on an attorney? If you can afford to pay for it yourself, that's what you should be doing. The fact that he, if I buffer one more time, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Ugh. It's so frustrated right now with this buffering bullshit every 2 minutes. I can't even speak. What is happening? Why is my screen doing this? I don't understand. Okay, so basically he's whining and bitching and then telling people like, oh, well, I got a loan for a house. Like, okay, cool. Where'd you get the money for that? Your defense fund, because everyone else paid for your defense fund while you consistently keep committing crimes. And the civil suit that you're suing Lindsay for, which costs money. Okay. An attorney for that costs like 50 grand just to have them do like the first motion and represent you. So that's a choice. So he's essentially saying, don't give Karen Reed money because it's a civil suit and she has a choice. She doesn't have to do that. And she should pay for it herself, which I don't disagree with. She should pay for it herself if she chose to do it, just like he should pay for it himself. But he's just mad. Bottom line is it's less money for his defense fund if people throw money at Karen Reed. And that's the reality. All right. That's the reality. Like, listen, I don't dispute that people should, if they don't have the money for it, help with an attorney for someone, right? But clearly, if he got a loan for a home or approved for a loan for a home, that means he has some sort of money saved up. Why is he not using that on his attorneys if he's asking other people for? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense, right? Does not make freaking sense. But apparently, that is the rant, right? I am wearing the wrong prescription. Mine needs to be upped. You know this. Telling you. And I think these bright lights screw with my eyes. I think Lynn's right. That's why I'm buffering every 5 minutes. God damn it. Apparently not, I think that's exactly it, Sam. I mean, it's about jealousy, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of either one of them, Karen or Aiden, but I mean, come on, man. Come on. Oh my God, how pathetic and sad. That's sad. Trash talking to Turtle, and then Glare tried to do like narrative control. That's interesting. That is interesting. I wouldn't bother. I love you. Love you. Ew. Ew. Everything is just so toxic, you know? Okay, I don't know. I don't even understand why he's even bringing up JFK. What does JFK have anything to do with him? Once again, he just does that. Like, he just does that just to trash people when he gets bored, I feel like. He is a wanted man. I know you can, and I need to do it. But it's also partly StreamYard. Aw, that is so nice. I love it. You know? So nice. I was at what party? The birthday party? Yeah, that's where I was. You're saying when his live was. Yeah. Yeah. I must have been at the party. I missed it, damn it. Missed it. Never. That's not nice. See, I offered everybody, and when everybody said they had a place to go or whatever, then I decided that we'll go to one of the places that we were offered so I don't have to cook. So otherwise, if I had known, you said you were going to your mom's, and so I figured, all right, cool, but you didn't tell me. I mean, you could always come with us, but you'd still have to get to my house to be able to come with us because I don't have a car, so I can't come get you. I wish I could. Yeah, she's got a bad leg right now, and it hurts. So everybody send all their love to Julie because her leg is in some bad shape, and we don't wish that on anyone, you know? Yeah, I'm hoping that we can because I would love to celebrate my birthday with my friends. Like, I would love to do that. I really would. But sometimes it just is what it is. The love is here. Overflowing. That's very true, Sam. That's very freaking true. Oh my God, he did not beach. He didn't. He went on about how unlikable she is. I didn't watch it. Once again, this is just what I'm told. So, you know, he's a prostitute and getting paid to put his clothes back on. I'd be able to put his clothes back on, just saying. Right? Let me get a sentence in, StreamYard. You know? What the hell? Well, my birthday, Benny. That's Friday. Hello. I was trying to get a party bus, but I'm like a couple hundred short on that get up. So, you know, that's the one thing I wanted to do. Just put everybody in a bus. Nobody has to drive. Bring us somewhere. We can all dance and have fun and sing and have a few drinks or a glass of champagne and just have a blast. Like that's what I wanted to do, right? For once in my life, celebrate with my friends and me. And I just don't think it's going to be possible. It's life. It's what happens. Like you end up spending too much money on the kid's birthday and then you're short for your own. That's life. I'm an adult. I can handle it. But it is what I wanted to do. But that's why that's why the bus is a good idea because you can sit. You can sit on the bus. You don't have to get up, right? And wherever they bring you, we could sit, you know? We don't have to stand. Take a load off your foot. Hopefully your leg will be a little better. Your foot will be a little bit better, you know? But we're not doing anything today other than celebrating with you guys because the real birthday is not until Friday. But I figured, you know, he did not make her lie like a bull. Stop that. He didn't say that. I can't. Okay, let's just be honest here. He did not make Karen Reed likable at all. All right. He just hid the bad qualities. Didn't tell people. That's like saying he made himself likable. That's weird. Like, what? What are we talking about here? Like, I know, but it's only freezing for 2 seconds because I'm going in and shutting off the internet and then reconnecting the internet. That's why. So it's frustrating for me because I got to keep doing it when it starts to buffer. You know, I don't blame you. I can't. My brain doesn't want to listen to nonsense. You know, it's hard to watch. I know. But even if you throw 100 at it, I'm still short at least 2 more. So that's, you know, I was hoping maybe I'll make the money between today and tomorrow. I mean, we'll, you know, and I can call up a place and say, hey, I need this and we'll be good to go. But maybe not. You never know. If we don't, we don't. If we do, then yay and exciting. But hey, it's hard to keep up. It is hard to keep up. You know, it is. On the same night you made the chili? Oh no. Well, I was just about to say, are you okay? That is not okay. Of course, my friend, of course. Okay, well, we'll count that and see if we can come up with the other two, right? And then we'll have at it, right? And the plan was to have everybody at my house and have the bus like at 8 and have the bus pick us up at 9. That was the plan. If I could pull it off. A lot of people didn't consider whether they liked it or not anyway, because it wasn't really about whether you like the person or not. It's about the case, you know? That's what it's about. So I agree with you. But I knew a lot about her personality. I can't even talk without it buffering. I literally can't talk. This is bullshit. This is bullshit, Taki. Not happy about this. But his hateful personality, let's be clear, has always been known. People just kind of skipped over it. You know, oh, well, he did this and this, so he's good. And it's like, no, no. I mean, you're just trashing people just cuz it's, you know, I mean, that's weird. Like, I'm not a person that I swear to God, if I freeze again, I'm gonna lose my mind. All right, if you don't like F-bombs, everybody put your fingers in your ears. Motherfucker. Mother fucker. Stop freezing. I lose my ever-loving mother fucking mind. You know, StreamYard and the internet are not my it's not a fan of me today. Well, I'm not a fan of it either. All right? God damn it. God damn it. Well, I mean, duh, she doesn't like him. Not many people do. You know? I saw that. So she's only at like 2,000, but that's probably a result of like his nonsense. Thank you, Michael. My birthday's not till Friday, but I won't be here Friday or Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So I figured I would celebrate with you guys this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and just have a very like chill stream, right? Just chill. We're just talking about whatever happened and whatever is going on and whatever cases are coming up and just like pretty much anything and everything. Like we're just celebrating the channel as a whole and how amazing all of you are because we can, you know? And we're glad that you're okay. That is scary. That is scary. Thank you, Michael. You know? And yes, I will make that clear. No, I have to cover it. It has to be covered. I look like, you know, look old. All right. I'm covering the grays. It's happening. So sorry, but before Friday, they're gone. They're going bye-bye. But I will make clear that, Lindsay didn't use her fundraiser money on, her move or a lip filler. It was indeed used on an attorney. And Grant did not run that fundraiser. Julie did. And to be clear, Julie removed the comment because she asked permission first and thought that it was a little inappropriate for a fundraiser and for a fundraiser that strangers might be commenting on to see something hateful towards someone else. Doesn't matter who it is, whether you like them or not. It wasn't appropriate for a fundraiser, so she removed it. So let's just that's the truth. So it's like the speculation of like what it was spent on. It was spent on attorneys. That's exactly what it was spent on. What it was supposed to be spent on. Nope, not gonna prevent me. Sorry. Yeah, right. Is this like a contest of who's more likable? Because he fails miserably, and so does fucking Karen Reed. Just saying. Oh, I've dropped a bike plenty of times. Thankfully, it was my own bike, but I have dropped one. Such a weird contest to want to be in. Like, weird. Weird. Yeah, the comments still, and I'm like looking at StreamYard right now, not thing. So like the comments still make it over here. So sometimes I should be looking at both, but I try not. Rude, StreamYard, rude. All right. I was in the middle of a sentence, StreamYard. How rude. All right. Rude. Like I was saying before, so I was rudely interrupted by StreamYard. Ugh. Ugh. I feel like it's one of those things. Okay. We're so rudely interrupted by StreamYard and it's buffering. As I was saying, okay, it's a weird contest to want to be in. It's a weird fucking contest to want to goddamn be in. But yes, I try not to look at this screen so much because you guys are probably like, what the fuck is she looking at? So the camera is on this screen. And what I really need to do is like put it in the middle over here so that I can see both screens and not have to compete with it. But I try not to like constantly look over here because you guys are here, right? And I want you guys to know I am paying attention. So, dropping a bike feels like you just dropped your firstborn child. Like it's like dropping a baby. You're like, my baby. Oh my God, what did I dent or scratch? Believe me, I have felt that fear. Okay. And of course, if I drop my baby, it would be worse. But I'm just saying, it's like dropping a baby of yours. You're like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Thankfully, I've never dropped one of my children. Although my aunt, one time when my sister was little, my mother handed my sister to my aunt. And my sister decided to projectile vomit all over her as a baby. And my aunt immediately just went like this and like threw said baby. Thankfully, there was someone there to catch said baby, which was my sister. And when we tell my sister the story now, she thinks it's freaking hilarious. I'm like, it was not hilarious at the time. I'm the oldest of my two younger sisters, and I was there, and it was horrifying. But my aunt does not have children. She didn't have any children. So once she got projectile vomited on, she did this. Thank you. Thank you very much. That sucks. I know, because last minute I was like, oh, well, I guess we'll take the invite to go so I don't have to cook, you know? I agree, Jesse. Oh, no, we're buffering again. I know the buffering's coming when I can't click on something. When I start to click on it and it doesn't pop up on the screen, I know it's going to do that. Me neither. It's a competition. I think they both win. Journalism, according to Turtle, is harass and defame people, expose your sources, then harass and defame them to hire a lawyer, but don't take his advice. That pretty much sums it up, I guess. That's a good comment. I think you literally pretty much summed it up, you know? Yes, Leah did. Leah sent me plenty of it, so I have more. We are glad you are okay. We are glad. Yeah, I think that's what Leah did, was get it like in a... My gray is stubborn too and resistant. It's a pain. Sometimes I have to do twice, like certain areas around here, because they're very stubborn, you know? I never dyed my hair until I had to start covering my grays. I think I ever dyed it 3 times total in my entire life. And I've never dyed it all one color. It was highlights and lowlights one time and ombre twice. That's it. Other than that, the only thing I've ever done after that is just cover the grays when they started popping up. That's it, you know? I know, I'm sorry. I should have been paying more attention over here. My bad. My bad. She has beautiful hair, though. She has beautiful, curly, full hair. I am jealous. Oh, Michael said TV's trial isn't far away. All what he says on his lives can be used against him for the trial. Yeah, they can, actually. If so, seems like he would shut up because he's been saying terrible things in music. Well, he never shuts up, as we know. And if he was smart, and he would just not say things that, but again, he doesn't always listen to his attorneys. So, you know. Well, now you can like restore it, right? To its glory that it'll be at, you know? I'm not a huge drinker, as you know. As a friend of mine, you know this. But for my birthday, I like to celebrate with a few drinks. I love to dance, okay? And I love meeting people. I'm a people person. So I love being in a place like a bar where I can dance, have a few drinks, and meet people, like talk to people. If I go to the bathroom, I get stuck in there for like 20 minutes talking to people. I'm just a people person. I just am. No, she did not lose her hair. She just doesn't need to dye it. It's just already so beautiful and curly, you know? Put the concealer on alone first. A hairdresser told me that. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to try that. Now I'm going to try that. That might be because they're stubborn. Mine are stubborn too, you know? Interesting. Yeah, he just keeps, talking. I do. I love to dance. I love it. It's so much fun. See? That's what I need. I need it to just sop up correctly, you know? That's what I need. She does have beautiful hair. She does. Her hair is so pretty. My mother has curls, like tight. Nowadays, if she doesn't put any product in it, they don't come out tight anymore. But like she has curls, and my mother's hair is black. And so I always was like, why didn't I get those beautiful like curls? I have to actually curl mine. Although my hair looks nice when I curl it. Just waking up with like getting out of the shower and having those really tight curls like would be so awesome. Although I do know people with curly hair are like, I fucking hate it. It's so much to deal with. And I get that too. I have, mine's much thinner, probably 50% thinner since COVID, because I lost half of it after I have long haul COVID. So I lost like my hair's not curly and my hair isn't straight. It's wavy, right? And that's the Spanish in me, right? The Irish gets booted out when it comes to my hair, and the Spanish and Portuguese and Congolesian takes over, and this is what you get. This is how it ends up when you have there's confetti still in my hair. And I slept in it with confetti. That's fun. But this is how it turns out, right? Like this is how you get not curly and frizzy and wavy, stuck your finger in a light socket type hair. And like when you pull it, right? Look, boop, it just frizzes. There is no like bounce to it. If you just like pull it, like with a curl, it bounces back into curl position. Mine does not. If you just like, it just ends up being a frizzy disaster. And so like, this is my mom hair. I don't care right now. Okay. Yeah. I have psoriasis and it's literally also on my scalp. So that's not fun either. And so my hair is dry as well. Very dry. I use argan oil in it. All sorts of like help it to not be so dry. I also need a trim, and I could probably trim like this much off the bottom at least. I probably wouldn't trim it more than that because it's up right now, and even down, it's like almost touching my butt. So if I trimmed this part off, it would still be very long. Still be very long. I agree. Like a lot of my medical stuff has ruined my hair and my skin for that matter. My skin is very, very dry. I have rosacea in my cheeks from like here to here, and it is very, very dry. Yeah, if you don't put any product in it, that's how my mother's is. It gets very frizzy if there's no product in it, although she never had to before. Developer, thank you. That's what's called, developer. It's the white stuff you put in before you put it into the thing. Yeah, I'm kind of a sarcastic asshole too. I'm a sarcasm queen sometimes. I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. Just saying. But yeah, health stuff can like ruin your hair, ruin your skin, you know? I can do that, but I have to put product in it, like hairspray or gel or And I just bought hairspray. Like, I don't use hairspray. I will not use hairspray usually. I won't use mousse. I won't use gel. It strips and ruins your hair. Yes, mousse. That's the one I was looking for, mousse. But once in a blue moon, I will buy them and use them special occasion or something. I try not to use a lot of product in my hair other than like washing it or like stuff for my scalp after. But other than that, I try not to use a lot of product. It's not really good for your hair. And since my hair's already dry and frizzy, I think it would just ruin it more. And so I try not to use, too much product or anything like that in my hair. I try to either straighten it or let it be as it is and just, I have baby hair still. I kid you not, like baby hairs I still have here and in the back of my neck. These ones drive me nuts. Anybody else have the baby hairs in the back of their neck that are like shorter than the rest of their hair and they frizzy out and drive you absolutely bonkers? Yeah, I have those too. It's a real struggle, all right? It's a real struggle. Amazon 20 volume cream developer. Yes, the developer is the white stuff you put in before, like you pour it into like the chemicals and then you shake the bottle. Hubby uses Dove. Oh, we're gonna buffer again. I know it when I'm about to click on something and it won't go on the screen. That means it's about to buffer. Dang it. Also, yeah, Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, they're having their Black Friday sales already. I don't know why. They started on the 20th and they go until I think the day after my birthday, or technically my birthday, which is Friday. So maybe Saturday morning, I guess. I don't know, because Black Friday is on my birthday. So I think it goes until, I don't know, midnight that night or maybe the next morning. But they're having like a week-long Black Friday. Oh yeah, duh. Totally forgot to like tell people how to like, donate to the channel. My brain today, I'm just so tired from this weekend. Like I am tired. I kid you not. Had a long weekend. We did a lot. Screaming kids and whatnot, I'm tired. All right. So there's many ways you could donate to the channel. We have CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have an Amazon wish list, which I have put in the description of this video. You can also ask us for it. We have Superchat, Super Stickers, but do know that those don't go directly to me. We won't get those until December. End of December. We'll get them the third week in December. Anything that goes through YouTube doesn't come in until next month, but everything else comes directly to me. CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. And then we do have the memberships. Now, remember that we have a pajama party Christmas Eve. It's going to be a little late because I am going to be coming back from somewhere, so I don't have an exact me too, girl. It's either going to be today or tomorrow, but I'm also doing the same, my friends. So these will not be here. You guys will not see these. By Wednesday, they will be gone. But so I know, girl. Listen, I know. It's extremely rude. All right. StreamYard is being rude right now. All right. Oh, girl, listen. I find it funny when they make fun of my makeup because I'm like, do you even know how many times I've been asked to do someone else's makeup or I've been paid to do someone else's makeup and they love it. And so they call me back when it's like prom time or wedding time or, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So especially when men do it, I find it even more funny because when I'm out in public, men actually will comment on it and be like, oh my God, that looks so pretty. Like, thank you. You know what I mean? StreamYard just being so rude, disrespectful. StreamYard, all right? It's getting a little old today. Disrespectful, right? Just rude. So freaking rude. Goddamn rude. But I think that, those are the things that they do on purpose, right? Like, oh, your hair is funny. Oh, your face is funny. Oh, your fucking brain is funny. All right? How about that? If you can't think of anything else to insult me with other than you're a stripper or we're a stripper, no shit, Sherlock. Not news to anyone considering I'm the one who broke the news, right? Anybody else acting like I'm not the one who publicly said it, then I don't know what world you live in, right? Like that wasn't a secret to my grandmother. God bless her soul, but that was not even a secret to my own grandmother, all right? Literally has never been a secret to anyone who knows me. Then I had to correct the lie Aiden told with it. What she called me a dropout. I'm not a dropout. I actually graduated high school with a baby. So what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And went to some college. So what the fuck are you actually talking about, sir? I still have outstanding student loans in the sum of $1,000 that I still owe. So what in the actual F are you talking about? The shit that they say is hilarious to me. I love you, but my hair is a disaster. If I could like bippity boppity myself a new hair, I wouldn't change my color. I love my color. It's dark. It's just, it matches me. I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm just saying. And not many people actually have black hair. It's usually like dark brown. My mother's hair is black, just completely black. And I have always had black hair, which is not normal, right? Usually it's dark brown. And my sisters have dark brown hair. I'm the only one who got my mother's black hair. And so even my kids all have brown. They're all brown. So I like to keep my sort of natural color and just enhance what I already got. But it's the frizz for me. My hair is very frizzy. It's very difficult. And so if I had to, I would either make it curly or I'd make it straight, that I didn't have to do much maintenance and not frizzy, you know? I don't think, I think you're right, Christy. Nobody should be casting the first stone at all. I don't know who he is to talk. That's amazing. But even if I had dropped out of high school, which I'm very proud of making it through high school with a baby with special needs, in the picture of my graduation that my aunt has at her house, which was my grandmother's house, my grandmother has it on her china cabinet, and it's like, put into like the glass, so it's on the outside of the china cabinet. But it's literally a picture of me in my cap and gown with all these other people around me in their caps and gowns, and holding my daughter. And at the time, my daughter had the G tube, wasn't in her stomach because she wasn't old enough. It was literally taped to her face. So the tube is going up her nose and down her throat to give her the G tube feedings as a baby, right? We had a lot of doctors, hospitals, like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I still graduated. I am extremely proud of that because the shit was stacked against me of being a mother in high school that had a baby. They don't always finish, right? A lot of the time they get a GED or drop out, and I didn't drop out. I graduated in a cap and a gown with my baby in my arms, right? And so it's like, what the is like, why are we just saying things? That's the thing. Like, why are we just saying things? I don't care whether it's true or not. They just say it. Like, oh, it's just drop out stripper. Nope. Didn't drop out. Definitely was a stripper, but you didn't know that until I told people, right? Like, not a secret, bro. Also, not ashamed. Not ashamed, bro. Never have been, never will be. Never will be, right? Sorry, not sorry. I love the acrobatics of dancing. After I stopped dancing and during the time I was dancing, I started teaching pole dancing classes. It literally works out every muscle in your body. It is great exercise. And there are actually studios now that teach, and this was like back then that not many of those existed, right? But there are actually studios now that teach pole dancing classes for exercise, right? Not even a little bit am I ashamed of what I did as a job, because I was good at my job. The acrobatics were so fun, right? So fun. And dancing is something I've been doing since I was a little kid, right? And unfortunately, unless you're going to Broadway, you're not really going to be paid for dancing. I had kids I needed to take care of, college education I'm trying to pay for, and it helped me pay for a lot of things I would not have been able to pay for otherwise. It was not a secret. Not a secret, and it never, ever was. No. My husband and me did not get together until the end of my dancing days. He's a good dancer, but never was an exotic dancer, no. But he does dance, and he is good at dancing. I'm like, Sir, you're Irish. You're not supposed to know how to dance. What's happening here? Like, it is an art, and it is like Cirque du Soleil. It's a lot of acrobatics that are involved in it. And funny enough, a lot of people think you need upper arm strength. It's not upper arm strength you need. It's your inner thighs that you need, and your legs that you're going to need the most strength in. Your arms aren't doing much. It's really holding you up by the inside of your thighs, and your legs are doing most of the work. But it's great. It's a fucking blast. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a blast. It's so much fun. And I, did dance for 10 long years. I could take a break when I wanted. I could go take a smoke break when I wanted. I could take a food break when I wanted. I could work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Or I could work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or I could work all the days. I could choose what my schedule was going to be, and I could work around what I needed to work on. I could work the days. I could work the nights. I chose nights because that's where the most money comes in, unless you have regulars that come in during the day, right? There are plenty of things anyone can do as a job. I chose dancing because it paid my bills, okay? And I didn't have to live paycheck to paycheck. And at the same time, I worked my body out with the acrobatics, and I had fun doing it. I had friends who worked as bartenders there that I got jobs, and I could be around the people that I know, that I care about. We could all go out to breakfast. A lot of us used to go out to breakfast at South Street Diner after work. I'm sure they still do that now from Boston. And I've worked everywhere from Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. I worked at the Cadillac Lounge. I worked at all three Foxy Ladies. Like, not ashamed. I don't think anybody should be ashamed. That's what I did as a job. As a job, I danced on a stage. That is what I did, right? I wasn't, and there's a big difference, right? Because when I worked there, I think the one thing that got me the most was that every person coming in there assumes that every stripper is going to like do something sexual to you. That's not going to happen, right? Now, are there girls that'll do that? Sure, there are. Are there girls that won't? Yes, there are, right? My thing is this: if you want to do that kind of stuff, then the corner's that way, right? Because you give a bad name to everyone else who's just dancing, right? Like, because then everyone else just assumes that's how it works for everyone. And it doesn't, right? It doesn't. I worked 80% of those girls were single moms or people paying their way through college. So a lot of college girls just trying to pay for college, right? A lot of them were such good kids too. Like people you would have never thought were dancers at night were dancers to pay for their college education, And I kind of hate how they put dancers in the category of sex work because there's no sex involved. That's the part that gets me, is like being a dancer, an exotic dancer in and itself is not sex work, right? It's not. it's dancing, it's erotic, right? But doesn't involve doing anything sexual to someone else, right? There's a 2-foot, I think it's 2-foot rule. In Boston, they have to be 2 feet from you. And there's a reason we have bouncers. The bouncers stand right there at the door, right there, so they can see everything. There's a VIP room. They're standing right there. They're there. They're watching. They're making sure you're safe, right? And I used to pay them extra to make sure that if the guy looked like he was going to start getting handsy, that they would just out you go, right? But people do, right? They do assume that they're one and the same. They're not. They're not one and the same, right? And for me, it's like there are limits that everybody has their sort of different limits, right? Like mine were pretty much the same as everyone else's. Like, don't put your hands on me, right? And you'll be fine. That's simple. You will be fine. And 99% of the people that come into those clubs are not just weirdo, handsy people like you would assume, right? It's 1% realistically that are the things that just think they can do whatever they want and just start doing whatever. Like, no, bro, that's not the way it fucking works, sir. Okay. So funny enough, you want to know who the best tippers are in a strip club? You guys are going to love this. Girls, women that go into a strip club are the best tippers. Isn't that funny? The best tips come from women. And they have a blast. They feel free. They're like, I want to have fun too. A lot of the times we would pull them up on stage and let them, dance, just regular, like dance, and just bring them to be a part of like being free for a minute, right? And they would have so much fun, and they would just want to sit and talk and hang out. And it was just such a blast to be around so many different people. And one of the guys that used to come in and see me, I was telling you guys this story not that long ago. I used to ask him, like, why do you spend all this money here? Like, why? And he looked at me and he was just like, I have no drawers in my coffin. Can't take it with me. Right? Like, sorry, I had to cut something for Riley's trying to do a little sand art thing. So I had to cut the top of it for her. But it is rare. You know what I mean? And I love it. But thank you, Shay. It's Friday, but we won't be here Friday, and Thursday's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to celebrate with you guys today and tomorrow and Wednesday. I appreciate you. But women would have so much fun in there, right? Coming in there. And we would have so much fun with them, right? Meeting new people. I'm a people person in general, and some nights I would literally end up just sitting with someone. A lot of the nights I'd have regulars that would come in, and they would just, every drink that they bought you would be like so many dollars you would get. And even if it was like orange juice, it didn't matter what it was. If they were buying you a drink of any sort, you got like a certain amount. It was like $5 or whatever it was per drink. And they had so much fun just sitting there. They would sit there with you, and every like 20 minutes or so, they'd give you like whatever amount of money, 100, 200, whatever, because they know that your time is money. So you can't sit there with them all night. You're not getting paid, right? So they would literally pay you to just sit there with them and talk. And if I had a freaking penny for every time that one of these guys was like, why do you do this for a living, Elise? You're so intelligent. You're so smart. You could be doing this, or this. And my answer was always the same to them, right? The money. It's that simple. The money. The money is good. And I can't afford to be working this job and wait 10 years to, you know what I mean? Like, I need to pay the bills now, right? I have kids. Like, I got to pay the bills now. But so many times I used to hear like, but you're so intelligent. You're wasting your intelligence and your talents. And I'm like, but I'm not. I still have it. Still have the intent. You're here having and if I had a penny for every time that a guy said, well, I like coming in here because I get to have an intelligent conversation with a woman, right? And I appreciated that too, in a way, because it's like you're meeting new people, and at the same time, they're appreciating that like even a strip club can bring you an intelligent conversation with someone that you never met, right? And so you find things in life in places that you never figured you would, right? I got a lot of life lessons in that place from various people, customers, coworkers, the people who work behind the bar, pretty much everyone can teach you some life lesson in some way, shape, or form. So love you. Thank you. I'm glad to see you. No, you missed about an hour, Casey, and about 72 freezing sessions from StreamYard, because StreamYard is being fucking rude today. So rude. It's being so rude. It doesn't like me today, and it's being rude. Right? Rude. So rude. But you can learn life lessons anywhere, is my point. Imagine thinking that calling me an exotic dancer or a stripper is going to be an insult to me, when it wasn't even a secret to my mother, my grandmother, my friends. My friends used to come in when I worked at forever ago, when I worked at Alex's on like 18 and plus night. They would come in and hang out. Like, it was a secret to absolutely zero people. So, it's not a weird, it's not a flex or an insult. Like, I am not ashamed in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I'm ashamed about is that I'm not in that fit body anymore that I was in. Thanks to my medication, it holds like at least I'd say 30 pounds of water weight on me from it. But make no mistake, I can still do those acrobatics because it's like ingrained in my brain now, right? And it actually is fun. If you ever get a chance, ladies and gents, to take a pole dancing class, I say do it. It's so fun. I used to teach them, and you are working out almost every muscle in your body at doing some trick. And rude again, StreamYard, rude. Celebrities were buying them for their houses to actually work out because it had been proven to work out every muscle in your body. It is so fun. But if you don't even need the that's the misconception too, is that you need all this upper body strength to do it. You really don't. You need lower thigh, like your inside of your thighs, like that is the muscle you're going to use the most to keep you up, to hold you up. On it is your inner thighs, and the back of your legs are going to do a lot of workout too. So really your arms, you need a little strength, but I'm not very strong in the arms and never have been, because it's not a lot of upper arm or upper body strength at all. Most of it is coming from your core and your lower body. Girl, listen, if it's on your list, do it. You will love it. You will love it. You will not be like, I wish I didn't do this. You will absolutely love it. Yeah, it's not a lot of upper. The only time you're really using your arms in strength is to pull yourself up, and really your body, your foot, your inner thighs are what you're actually using to get yourself up and to keep yourself up. You can let go. Your arms can let go because your arms are not what's holding you up. Your legs are. Your skin sticking to it, and your foot, sort of, your leg is sort of wrapped around and your foot is up against it, and in your inner thighs. That's what's keeping you up, is your inner thighs, your legs, and your foot. You can let go. Your arms, you can just let go. I have a video, it's privated, but it's on my YouTube of me doing those tricks, and it's you see me at one point get to the top and I just let go because I don't need my arms. I can go upside down without even using my arms. I'm using my legs. I don't need my arms. Once you're up there, or once you've pulled yourself up, that's all you're using it for. At least for that sort of main trick. You might be using it to spin a little, but again, most of that strength is coming from the rest of the trick, other than just getting up, is your legs. You know? Oh, thank you, Jezebel. I appreciate you. I'll take a cyber hug. I love hugs. I'm a hugger. I'll take a cyber hug. Do you like my kids do when they want me to pick them up when they were little? Anybody else's kids do that when they want to be picked up? They do this, or they do this. Pick me up, love me. I appreciate you, Jezebel. Thank you so much. But my kids, when they were little, that's what they used to do. Pick me up. My niece does it now, and it's so cute. She just turned 1, and I'm like, I remember when my kids were that little and cute, but this baby factory has been closed for a long time now. No more for me, man. No more for me. No more. 0 more. Not doing it. Not doing it. Where can we... Hold on, let's see. Yeah, this baby factory has been closed quite a while now. My phone is going bonkers. I might need to check and see if there's something going on, because why else is my phone going wonky? Let's see. We got a lot. Let's see. Nope. I'm getting a lot of like, anybody get those texts from like certain places that you like to shop? Like right now, Glamnetic is sending me That's where I like my eyelashes from. Black Friday is here early. Shop now and relax later with 30% off site wide with code BF30. Glamnetic. Sol de Janeiro, 25% off of everything. If you like your bum cream, well, that's what it's called. It's called Sol de Janeiro's bum cream. And they have a spray and a shampoo and a conditioner. But the spray and the body cream smells amazing. It's one of my very favorite things. I ran out forever ago and I have not bought more. Well, because I haven't had the money. But, maybe if I write it on a list of things that I possibly want, then maybe my husband will get it for Christmas. Possibly, maybe. Men are not good with these things. You can tell them what you want, and in 5 minutes, they forget. You can write it down, and they forget where they put the list. Or they wait until last minute so that they totally can't get it because they didn't order it. And it's only, technically, he could go into like a Kohl's now because that's where Sephora is, or an Ulta. But he's a man, and he would not know that. He would not know that. Man, sometimes I wish we could put our brains in men's bodies and just like tell them what we need them to do for us. Like, I need you to do this for us, please. I said, I'm going to just put things on my Amazon wish list, babe, and I'm just going to give you the Amazon wish list, and you can choose to pick from said Amazon wish list because, like, that's what we're doing. And usually, even if it's like Sol de Janeiro, I'm pretty sure I have like a bum cream set on there on one of my wish lists, the private one, I believe, because the public one has like nothing on it anymore. But I put like ceramics and stuff on there because that's what my oldest wants for Christmas. She wants like ceramics that she can paint. And even before she went blind, we're a crafty family. We love painting. And in one of her eyes, she can still see, like, after she had the surgery, it was like a 50-50 shot whether she would get sight back in that eye or not. When she was like 12, they did one eye. She didn't get anything back. And then they did the other one a couple of years ago. And she got some like light and shadows. So she could see like the outline of it, right? And if she gets it close to her face enough here, she could see a little bit of it. So she likes to still paint. And so I asked her what was something she wanted for Christmas, and she said ceramics. She wants ceramics, all different kinds of ceramics, whether they're cups, figurines, like, picture frames, like all sorts of different vases, all sorts of different things that she can paint. So, that's smart too, right? Money or gift cards. I never get really either. Gift cards once in a while, once in a blue moon, but I don't usually get either of those things. I feel like it's better when someone actually thinks about it and picks out something that like you would like and they like think it out, That's why I try to pick out gifts that are like thought out. And I always say to my husband, do not pick something because you like it, because you're not buying it for yourself. Too many people do that. My aunt does that. She'll pick something. She's like, well, I liked it. Well, is it for you or is it for the person you're supposed to be buying it for, right? Well, I thought your sister would like it because I like it. And I'm like, take that back before Christmas. She is not going to like it. If you liked it, then buy it for yourself. Buy something she will like, not something you like, something she will like. You're not buying it for you. You're buying it for her. My aunt has a bad habit of doing that. Well, I liked it. Well, that's nice and all. Then I'll buy it for you. But get her something she will like, I only have one aunt, so you would think she would know by now. All right. Uh-oh. What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know what that is. What is happening? Okay, so the turtle is saying something about like his recent influx of donations to his legal defense fund. And there's a huge hearing coming up on December 5th at 2 p.m. And he would like to see a good crowd for that. I don't know why you would want to bring a crowd with you to the courthouse when you're just proving to the judge that you're saying you don't control other people and what they do. And like, but Why would you? It makes no sense. He didn't want it for New Jersey, though, right? So make it make sense. You only want it when you think this isn't going to benefit you. It's a bad look, bro. Like, the First Amendment's on trial in Norfolk County. No, you're on trial in Norfolk County. And it has nothing to do with the fucking First Amendment. The First Amendment is not absolute, folks. Let's remember that. The First Amendment has its limits. There is limits to the First Amendment. You cannot just say whatever you want and do whatever you want without any consequences. The First Amendment is not fucking absolute. Period. Okay? Oh my God, StreamYard, we're going to fight. We're literally going to fight. It's not cool at all. Oh, now my YouTube studio is being funky. What is happening? I don't like this. Oh yeah, the pajama party. Remember, the what? The pajama party for Christmas Eve is on Christmas Eve later at night. So it's a members only stream. So if you get your membership tomorrow, I'd say today too, because it's the 24th, but it'll be turning the 25th technically. So if you get it tomorrow on, you will be covered for a month for your membership for the pajama party. If you already have a membership, then you don't have to worry about it and you can just let it renew. And I'll have 10 to give away on the 1st. December 1st, they give me 10 free ones to give away on the 1st, and I always give them all away. So we're definitely going to do that. And so 10 people will get one. And I think, yeah, but I'm pretty sure my mods are included in that. You're a mod. So it doesn't matter whether you have one or not, because I need mods. So I believe the mods are in, it doesn't boot my mod just because it's members only. You're a mod. So you already have access to the channel, whether it's a members only or not. So you're all set. And if it gives you one when I give out the 10, so be it. So you're in anyway. Mods should be anyway, because you're mods. Because you're mods. Okay, so almost $300,000 people have given him for his defense. That's just insane to me. But now he got a loan for a house. Cool. Why aren't you using that toward your defense fund, sir? Come on. He has $2,000 that pay $15 a month for his memberships. It's he's making plenty of money. You know what I mean? And then he makes fun of these people behind their backs. That's the part that really gets me, is all these people that donate to him and his channel and support him and his channel. He makes fun of them behind closed doors. It's what he does. Calls them dumb and stupid, and how stupid they are to just keep giving him money, but they'll just keep giving him money and believing whatever he says. It's gross, the shit that he will consistently continue to say. And I honestly can't wait, because if it all comes out in his trial, then I hope at that point these people understand that this is who he is. This is who he will always be. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's definitely wasted, because think about all the people that don't support him now that did, and how much money they wasted with him. I hate to say it, but it was there the entire time. It's a lot of people just kind of overlooked it and whatever. But it's this is the person, right? This is the fucking person. Doesn't care about anybody but himself. It's unfortunate. It's hard to think about other people when all you're thinking about is yourself. You did a whole Christmas village. I freaking love that. So for Christmas, if you're coming for Christmas and Christmas Eve, I'm hoping to get the set where there's 6 mugs. They're Christmas mugs that we can all paint. So if you're here, you'll be here for said pajama party, right? We'll make up the couch for you so you have a nice place to sleep, nice and comfy. Because nobody should be alone on Christmas, especially my friends. Or Christmas Eve for that matter. That's part of Christmas. I feel like Christmas Eve and Christmas are like one and the same, right? Right? They're like one and the same. For me, they're like one and the same, you know? Fun fact, my grandparents had a whole Christmas village. I didn't paint them like you did, Julie, because that's a lot of work. But I would love that. Would be so fun to do that. But they had like entire pieces of a whole Christmas village. I actually don't know what happened to it, whether my grandmother still has it in her like little storage thing after she passed away. My aunt's sort of overlooks all of my grandmother's stuff. So I don't know what even still is there and what isn't, to be honest. But she could have got rid of it before she died. I don't know, but I would love to. I know she gave my mother a bunch of stuff, and then my mother had like a flood, and it ruined a ton of Christmas stuff. So I don't even know what's left and what isn't. But that would be super fun to have my grandmother. She had like an entire manger, you know, Jesus and the baby and the three whatchamacallits. Like she had the whole setup, and she used to put those fireless candles. They're called candles, but they're not candles. You know, you turn them on, they're like lights. They look like candlesticks, and they have a light on the end, and they're just white lights. And she would put one in each window. They were she had crank open windows from her house, and so they would zip tie them sort of down onto the windowsill and like make sure that they wouldn't fall. And during Christmas time, would light each one in each window. Like that was a thing like back then. And so you got to, I think about all the traditions that my grandparents did when I was a kid. And I think about the sort of new traditions I've made with my kids for the holidays. And we have our own mixed in with some of my Nana's, which I love. I love so much. Have my great grandmother's ceramic village. She signed all the pieces. I love that. It's so special, but too fragile to put out anymore. I'll show you guys something that's very, very personal to me. Give me 1 second, and I will show you guys what it is. My grandmother loved to paint too, by the way. Okay, fun fact. My grandmother painted this, and she did sign the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it, but her initials are there on the bottom of it. She signed every piece that she did, and she was in a painting class with older people. After my grandpa died, she found a way to sort of spend her time with other people doing other things. And she made me this sleigh, right? You could really put candies or whatever in it. And it means a lot to me. My grandmother passed when my youngest was just about a month old. So that's, close 8 years ago. And so she made me this Christmas sleigh. And the Christmas, like she died January 7th of 2018. One of the last things that she had given me for Christmas was this towel set, right? And it came with these hand towels, and I have never unwrapped them. I don't know, call me weird. I never had the heart to after she passed away. And so I just keep them in the sleigh. During Christmas time, I just set them out and I keep them sort of in the sleigh as a decoration, you know? And I have many other pieces that my grandmother, she made, my oldest daughter loved elephants. And so she made this painting of a big elephant holding a baby elephant's trunk, like face to face. And she signed it. And so I have many pieces. Like my grandmother made me this little jewelry box, and you can slide a photo in the top. And she had slid a photo of me and my oldest in the top of it and painted the sides. It looks like a book. So she painted the sorry, we're buffering again. Looks like pages, and she painted them gold right? And then blue. And so I still have that. And my grandmother was even close enough to my friends, right? That when my friend had a baby, she made a train, and each piece of the train had a letter of my friend's son's name. And my friend still has that. And so all these different things that my grandmother did, like we all hold on to because they're special to us, right? They're special to us. There's a reason why we haven't, and I take very good care of it because I'm afraid if it breaks, I might have a meltdown. So, I just, there's lots of things like that mean a lot, but this little piece that my grandmother made me means more to me than any, crazy amount of money she would have spent on anything. This I can hold on to for as long as it'll stay, together. And even when it's not, I'll probably, gorilla glue it if it breaks because I will. Because I will. But I keep those things out, especially during the holidays, to remind my kids. And I tell my kids, my oldest obviously knew my grandmother best. That was her great grandmother. And my middle and my oldest, were around long enough. My youngest was only a month old when she passed away. But I tell my little stories, and my oldest will do the same thing with my little. And we have lots of pictures around the house of everyone. And so she knows who everyone is, and stories about all of them to sort of keep their, memory alive. Right. And when I do things with my kids that my grandmother used to do with me, I tell them, like, this is something my grandma used to do with me. Like, for instance, anybody know who the heat miser is, right? I Mr. Heat Miser. You guys know that, right? I Mr. Sun. I don't know if you guys do, but if you don't, it's an old Christmas cartoon, older than probably my mother even. Let me see if I can find a clip of it because you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But we knew those songs so well when I was a kid. Here's the Heat Miser song. I found it. Let's see. Share screen. It's old, but hey, old, you guys. And that is something my grandparents, we watched every year as kids. Okay. Right? You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, they're creepy looking little dudes. You have the cold miser and the heat miser. It's a whole thing, right? But it was a tradition, right? A tradition. And so my kids know the heat miser. Everyone sings the song, when it comes on. Everyone's favorite is the heat one instead of the cold one, kind of catchy, but it's a tradition nonetheless. I used to I don't even remember a time when we didn't watch this when I was a kid. And it's older than me, But uh-oh. Heads up, we detected your stream belongs to someone else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked if you plan to continue. No, my stream does not belong to someone else. It belongs to me. But again, I played the song. So now it's going to be like, copyright strike. You can't monetize this video unless you take this down. So what I'm going to have to probably do later is when the stream is over, it's going to say, blah, blah, blah. This probably belongs to someone else. And I'm going to have to be like, no appeal, using it for fair use. It's publicly freaking available. Sorry, not sorry. And I'm giving my own commentary on it. Like, hello. But YouTube makes it difficult for you to show anything that has any type of music or that someone else posted originally. It's weird like that. But it's like there's so many things I would love to show you guys that I can't because then it just blocks your video. It's ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous. It's rude. So rude. Everybody's rude today. StreamYard's rude today. YouTube's rude today. Just fucking rude. All right. Try not to swear so much, but fuck. All right. She is talky. Just saying. So freaking rude. But yes, we watched it as a kid too. It was a tradition. I wasn't a fan of the like Macy's Day Parade thing. Like, yeah, the floats were cool when I was like, little, but then I was like, all right, this is boring. I got bored with this. So instead, we get football if we have football. And then we do music. And no, not Christmas music, just music in general. I like some Christmas music, but I don't want to hear Christmas music over and over and over and over and over until I would like to poke out my own eardrums. I just like music in general. So if we have to, put some Get Low from, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, we gonna do's that. I'll never forget my wedding, right? My grandmother was alive for my wedding. And I give the DJ the kind of music I want to listen to, right? And my grandmother's like, you don't want to play some classical music while dinner's being served? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, why not? What about, your great uncle so-and-so and your, cousin who's he what's it? And I'm like, is it great uncle so-and-so or cousin Susie what's it's wedding, or is it mine? Like, I don't care if great uncle so-and-so, cousin Susie what's it wants to listen to classical music while dinner is being served. We are going to listen to, rap when dinner's being served with lots of explicit swears. All right. I'm just kidding. No, but I was like, no, I don't want to listen to, the electric slide. We want to do the Cupid shuffle. Okay. Let's keep it in the century. All right. Like, for the love of God. So I did not opt to play, older music for older people. I played what I would like to listen to in a mix of things, like, some rock, some rap, some country, like all wrapped up into a bow. And my DJs, both of them were amazing. And they did it for next to nothing for my wedding because they were friends. A lot of people did that same thing. We got the catering for like $20 a plate because a very good friend of mine knew the owner of the restaurant that was catering it. And so we got some really good deals on my wedding. But the point was, Uncle Whoosy What's It and cousin so-and-so are not paying for said wedding over 40 grand. We are. So I'm going to play what I want to play at my wedding. And if they don't like it, oh, well. You know what I played for the introduction for the bridesmaids and the groomsmen? I'm the Shit by DJ Class. And if you've never heard that song, you should go listen to it right. We played I'm the Shit and we played Fireman, all right, by Lil Wayne. That's what we played, all right, for introductions. I'm just saying. We weren't going to play, the Jackson 5, all right? This was my wedding. I didn't care, all right? And me and my husband have talked about it, right? Right? You got to save. Or you do like what we did, a lot of DIY stuff. Like, we did our centerpieces ourselves. There were a lot of things that we did to save money. There was a ton of stuff that we did to save money. And so there are ways to sort of save money on that. We did a hall. We did a beautiful mirrored hall, and it had a DJ booth that was sort of up on a balcony. It was gorgeous. But me and my husband have talked about having like another a wedding reception. And we've decided, since we're such big children, we're like children at heart, that we decided that what we're going to do is, this is a thought of like a few years from now, because obviously we didn't have the funds to be doing this now. But if this is what we've thought about, right? And hopefully by then, maybe all y'all can travel for this because it'd be so much fun. But we decided that what we're going to do is have it at a hall, right? And then under everybody's chairs, we are going to strap Nerf guns and some amount of bullets. Some of you will get no bullets. Okay. The people that we like the least will probably get no bullets, right? Then we will give some people some bullets. Some people will get one bullet. And we're just going to have an all-out giant Nerf war at a wedding reception, because we're like little children. So when people are rolling around on the ground under tables trying to snipe each other out with Nerf guns, all right, it'll be a wedding experience to remember that you've never been to before, because that's the idea. That's what we're doing. It's happening. We're going to do that. I'm so not even kidding. I'm being so serious right now. That is what we decided many moons ago. We decided this. This is what we decided. We will provide safety glasses. All right. So nobody pokes their eye out with a Nerf gun with a foam Nerf gun because it can happen. All right. This is dangerous, dangerous business. All right. Nerf guns are dangerous business. I kid you not when I tell you that my daughter probably owns at least a dozen Nerf guns. Like we got the little ones up to like the big kahunas. All right. And if I had a penny for every time I found a Nerf bullet somewhere random, I'd be fucking rich because the Nerf bullets end up everywhere. Right. I find Nerf bullets in places there shouldn't be Nerf bullets. We have gel blasters too. That's a whole nother animal. We literally have 2 gel blaster rifles and 2 gel blaster just handguns, and you fill them with the like Orbeez essentially, but they come in packs. We have like, I think I even have some in here, but they're like orange packages and yellow packages of balls, and then you those we usually use in the summertime in the yard. And yeah, you definitely need safety glasses and they kind of hurt. They kind of hurt, but we do own gel blasters, but I probably wouldn't do gel blasters with the wedding just because like, Uncle so-and-so might lose an eye. So great Uncle so-and-so might lose an eyeball. We don't want that, We have literal rifles. We have Orby rifles, and then we have the handgun Orbeez. So but that's what we decided. Nerf gun wars. Okay. I'm not kidding. I'm so serious. That's what we decided many moons ago. And eventually when we have the money to do that, that's exactly what we're going to do it'll be luck of where you sit, whether you get any Nerf bullets or whether you get like a bunch of Nerf bullets, you never know. I mean, I guess I would say kiss up to me before said wedding reception where I decide who gets what for Nerf bullets. Actually, there's 181 people watching on X. And then there's like 50 on YouTube. And then there's 32 on Facebook. Where is everyone? God damn it. I think most people are listening right now. Some people are at work. Some people are driving. Some people are just listening from X. Well, I'm streaming from 3 platforms. You know how to do that, right? How to do it from more than one platform at a time? Or do you just do YouTube? That's why I have StreamYard. StreamYard can do up to 5 or 6 platforms, depending on like which tier you pay for per month. Yeah, see, there's a ton of people who are at work, but they're listening. You can do that. Conspiracy dog walk. You didn't tell me you were going to see. That's why it's a conspiracy. God damn it. I plug my phone in and this light goes nuts. I don't understand it. God damn it. I don't understand. But if you don't know how to, Biker Daddy, I will happily teach you how to stream to more than one place at a time. It makes it so efficient that you can stream to multiple locations at once. So all simultaneously, I am on 3 platforms while only streaming here from StreamYard. So right now I'm on YouTube, I'm on X, and I'm on Facebook all at once. Makes it so much easier to do, to reach. No, nothing to add to that? Nothing at all? Not even like, but we're going to get this old 70s stripper music out. Bear chicka wow wow. Should we turn bear chicka wow wow? Ooh, chocolate chip cookie dough. You tell him I said he's going to need to bring some of that chocolate chip cookie dough over here. I'm just saying. You listen here, Jay. You listen here, sir. Okay? Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm going to need some of that. Gonna need some of it. Yeah, I mean, I'll put my email here into chat, but you guys know you can get a hold of me also on Twitter or Facebook. But I will happily teach you how to do it so you can reach, other platforms while you're streaming. When I started out, nobody taught me anything. I had to do it myself. I had to learn myself. You just learn by clicking and messing with it and sort of figuring it out. It's much easier if somebody's willing to help you, obviously. But I figured it all out myself. And I just said, F it. Like, if I'm going to do this, I got to know how to do it all myself. I can't rely on anybody to help me. I got to just fucking do it. It would have been easier if someone helped, right? And taught you how to do it. But I had to do it myself. And so for me, I'm willing to sort of help anyone who needs it, because it would have been a lot easier if someone helped me out in the beginning, and I would like to make anybody's life a little easier if I can, it is what it is. I definitely appreciate that learning how to do it makes it much easier in the long run to do certain things. And had I known how to do X, Y, or Z earlier, it definitely would have been helpful. But there's still stuff I learned to this day. Not anything that has to do with like StreamYard or streaming this, but new editing stuff. And I don't do long form videos. I just don't. Live streaming, I feel like, is much easier. I can speak directly to you guys, where you guys can speak directly back in the chat. And then there's not much I don't need to edit it, right? There's nothing I need to edit other than once in a while editing out something like the Heat Miser song, which I'm probably going to have to do after this. And it'll just either take that segment out, or it'll ask me if I want to like change the song to something else. So if you hear a song, it's not Heat Miser, and it's not the right song, it's not my fault. Yell at YouTube. I know you would have, but it was hard to sort of figure out. And I'm a tech person. I like tech. So it probably was a little even easier for me to figure out. If you don't really know tech that well, it's definitely going to be harder. But StreamYard itself, being able to stream from multiple platforms at once. So for instance, someone gets on YouTube, and I love when the trolls do this because they're so clueless to how it works, that this is what they do, is they'll jump on YouTube at any given time and be like, I only see 72 people watching. You're only talking to 72 people. And it's like, no, I'm talking to a few hundred. I'm on multiple platforms. I have a number at the top of my screen. And then if I hover over it with my mouse, it'll tell me how many people are watching from each platform, right? X is at the top over here, and then it shows YouTube, and then it shows Facebook, and it'll give me a number next to each one on how many people are watching from each one. And so, no. So when they come in and try to use that insult, that just shows me that they have no idea how streaming works. And listen, that's cool. I'm not someone that is going to be like, I'm so upset it's only 50 people or 70 people or 30 people. Because even if it was only 30, which it isn't, it's a couple hundred, but even if it was only 30, who gives a fuck? You got to start somewhere. My channel is only less than 3,000 subscribers. Why is that a problem? Like, Hi, Pepper. Probably not, I'm guessing, Heisenberg. I'm going to guess not. At least not now. I think he was before, but I don't think he's getting shit now. But I'd be nauseous. I don't even know why he does it at this point, because he has to understand that at some point it's going to flip on him. That's just the way it works. It's a pattern of behavior that's been going on for years. He's going to be on that list at some point, and he doesn't have to do anything but breathe wrong that day, literally. So, I mean, weird. That's all I have to say about it. That whole scenario is weird. It must feel so good going after women all the time. That must feel awesome. Must feel super manly about that. Yeah, I'm a man. Go after women. Ugh, such a manly man. I mean, weird. Weird. I guess if that's what makes you feel good about yourself, go right ahead there, sir. I suggest maybe looking at your own behavior and thinking to yourself, like, why am I piling on to people I don't even know? There's a reason why I don't do it, right? There's no purpose behind doing that to hurt someone. None. I address Aiden and the Super Squad. That's it. Any other person that gets dragged in or any of that, like, no. Absolutely fucking not. Not a chance. There is no reason. I'm not a jump on the bandwagon type person. I'm just not. I feel like, and for me, it's like if we are calling out Aiden and his sewer squad for doing it, I can't ignore it being done to the opposite side either. It's never okay, in my opinion. This is why I go to the beat of my own drum, and I don't belong to either cult or either whatever, because I have to call it on both sides. I can't say it's okay here because I don't like this person, but it's not okay here. It's not okay at all, right? I don't feel the need to jump out there and just start disparaging people for no real reason, right? There's no good that's going to come from that, none at all. I mean, that obviously is what he thinks, right? That it has to. I mean, I think you're right. Weird though, weird. I think that happens a lot too, Heisenberg, where a lot of it gets hijacked, right? And they turn it into an all in bashing session. And it's like, what good does that do to anyone? For anyone, for that matter? It doesn't. It just hurts more people. And I'm not about hurting. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I don't like it. It feels gross. I don't know why anyone would want to do it, Why still do PR for him? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's weird. Why? Yeah, you told me this morning, like, why jump into Billy Bush's chat and do TV narrative? It doesn't make sense. You're just parroting the shit he says. Why though? Why have him on to talk about it? Because all he's going to do is gaslight. It just doesn't make, unless you want that, like, why for Billy Bush, why invite that kind of drama to your channel? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You're going to have the sewer turtle on to bash Karen Reed because that's what's going to happen. That's exactly, and all indications say that's exactly what would happen. So why would you do that? You know what I mean? If you're Billy Bush, why would you do that? It's got to be views, clicks, views, salaciousness. Like, listen, I'm all about, people wanting to like grow their channels. That's cool. That's great. But let's be honest here. Billy Bush is someone that could have got 50,000 the second he created a channel. He's not starting from the bottom. He's not starting from 1 subscriber, 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers. Like, I think we're like 15 shy of like 3,000. Like, he's not doing small milestone after small milestone. Like, he started at a big milestone. You know what I mean? If you have 2,000 people who are a member that pay $5 a month, think about how much money that brings in already. You know what I mean? Like, that smaller creators like me, we can't depend on membership money to sustain the channel for the month, because if you don't even have 100 members, you know what I mean? And then YouTube takes their cut. There's nothing, that's not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's not covering the cost of running that channel. So it's like when you have 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, and you have like 2,000, 3,000 people who are members, like, you can run your channel on that and make something, right? Billy Bush started out already having that. And it's like, I understand it. He wants, more people to come watch and click and view and ad revenue and whatever, but I don't understand fanning the flames of anything that the turtle has to say about anyone at this point. It's weird. It's weird. So yeah, so I guess it was both times, this morning and yesterday. Interesting. What I really want to see is, I want to see Alan Jackson say something publicly about the turtle. I would love to hear what Alan Jackson has to say at this point, about the turtle. Because I don't think he's publicly, I'll say publicly, said anything. But I can't imagine being that close to Karen as he is and all, is going to be super duper happy, especially because during trial 1, the super turtle tried to like blackmail his way into getting a court seat. That happened. That's a real thing that really happened. And Alan Jackson was made aware of it. And also, I heard, just saying, that Steve Buzang actually quit Karen's team as an attorney because of the way that she spoke to him. So, gee, I wonder why. Doesn't shock me because, again, I know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that you guys didn't know about and didn't hear about. She has a really bad habit, of screaming and yelling at people and demanding that they do X, Y, and Z. And that's not the way that you ask someone to do something you want them to do. It's certainly not the way that you treat people. Do you want people to treat you like that? Then you don't treat other people like that. And when you're an entitled asshole, then you treat people like that. So Steve kind of made his way out. Maybe she needs a beta blogger. Yeah, I mean, the beta bitch boys, you know what I mean? I love you. I love you. I'm just saying I love you. I can't believe today's a Monday. Sorry, my leg is itchy. Do not recommend having psoriasis because it makes it very itchy, and I have it on my legs, on my shins, and it's itchy and it hurts and I don't like it. But that's fucking hilarious. But I'm just saying, like, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And unfortunately, Karen Reed has a really bad habit of treating people like shit, but so does the turtle. They both do. And so it's like that was going to come to a clash at some point anyway. We all fucking knew that, you know? We all knew that. We all knew that. All right, let's see. What's happening? Hold on. Let me check one thing real quick. If I can do it without YouTube and whatever being rude and StreamYard being rude today to us. Rude. How rude. Oh boy. Okay, so I didn't realize. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Well, apparently his live yesterday was literally called Karen Reed Impromptu Intervention. That's weird. Intervention, that's what we're calling it. I don't think it's an intervention. I think it's a tantrum of sorts. That's what I would call it, a fucking tantrum. He had a tantrum. Weird, for sure. What the hell? What is happening here? Weird. Yeah, the intervention. Weird. That's what it's called. Somebody just sent me the screenshot of it, and I'm like, intervention. That's what he called it, an intervention. It's definitely. I'm gonna disagree. It's not an intervention, but cool. I guess. You know what I mean? Cool. Cool. Weird. All right then. God damn it. To go get money. Yeah, it's 3 hours and some change. He said intervention to tell her go get money. Why? Oh, I get it. He wants her to what? Join his documentary that he's been trying to force her to do? Because that's what it's all about. He can't get that money without her. You know? Oh, thank you, Joy. I appreciate you. It's nice to see you. Oh, boy. Well, let's remember, right? He wanted her to join that interview. The deal that they were going to get all that money if he could deliver her, because he couldn't deliver her, he's not going to get what he was going to get. And so he's very salty about that. He's very salty about all that money that he lost out on. And so he keeps reiterating, like, oh, well, she has ways to make money because, well, he wants that money that he's not getting. And so, but it's like kicking yourself, like, don't donate to her, donate to me, turtle boy. I really want to see what happens when a lot of these people realize that privately he just makes fun of the people that donate to him. I'm being so dead serious. He just makes fun of them. That's unfortunate. And it's sad. It's fucking sad because he doesn't appreciate anything that he gets. He doesn't appreciate it. He doesn't, do anything good with it. He doesn't. I honestly would like to see the reaction when some of that stuff comes out in his trial. You know, I just am. I would like to see what happens. Like, are people going to be like, "Hey, that's fucked up and that's not right." I can't even imagine or fathom making fun of the people that support me. That's not only fucking weird, but it is so out of touch with the fact that people are supporting you who might not even be able to afford to, yet they are, to say that they appreciate you or your content or they like you or whatever, right? Some of these people can't even afford to, but they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. So I can't imagine getting on my phone and texting people and writing emails and being like, these fucking stupid people who all look like a Michael Jackson Thriller video are fucking donating to me, and they'll keep donating to me because they're so fucking stupid they'll believe anything I say. Like, what? You don't appreciate them? You don't appreciate that they're supporting you? You get so many of them that you can just make I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. To me, it doesn't wrap around my brain to fathom that would be okay with the people who support him, because to, in your mind and then out of your mouth or to your fingers, type these awful things about people that are constantly supporting you. Like, you have to have something wrong up there, right? Like, you got to have something wrong up there to think that that's okay in any capacity, right? Why would you be making fun of the very people that put money in your pocket? I don't, it doesn't compute in my brain how anyone would do that at all, ever. Right? Like, how do you not appreciate what they're doing for you? How they're helping you put food on your table or pay your rent or buy a car or get a loan for a home like he has done, while also actively telling people they need to get to that 300,000 mark to pay for his defense fund. Like, what? I can't. It just doesn't compute to me at all. And then again, right, he's going to keep talking about it because it's something that bothers him hardcore, that he's not going to get that money without her. He can do any deal and get money. She's not facing jail. He is. Oh, we're going to do the whole like 105 or 90 years in jail thing again. He called her out on the nice hotel and war room cost, steaks and outfits. Oh, but that was totally okay when she was doing it though, right? Remember, he justified it when it was happening. Oh, well, she pays for her attorneys to eat. Okay, but that's what the attorney's fees are for. You don't pay the attorney's fees and then also pay to feed them. That the attorney's fees covers that and their travel. Like, what? Hey, that's okay too. That's okay. And it does begin at home with the people that you care about, or the people that you love, and you do the best that you can. Weird. That's just weird, Well, that's what he always does. Oh, I was kidding. I was being facetious. I didn't think it was okay back then. I mean, come on. He can't be honest about it, So there's the documentary he's doing, which I don't think it's going to come out the way he thinks it is. And then there were other things that were offered, right? If you can bring Karen, we'll do you 10 episodes of $250,000 or $10,000 or $50,000 each episode or whatever, right? There were specific deals that were made. If he could get Karen, this is what they would give him. And because she said no over and over and over and over again, he's not getting that money now because he can't deliver Karen to the idea. So he's mad about that. Well, that's the thing. Who's been charged with murder? Nobody except Karen, and she was acquitted. And so that part's over. No one else is charged with murder. No one else is charged with a crime. No one else is charged. Like, I mean, again, he's about to be dealing with a civil suit that pertains to him calling people murderers, and you're still saying it. I mean, how smart do you have to be? Not even throwing an allegedly in there at any point. You know what I mean? Because there's, again, nothing has been alleged, so you can't really say allegedly anyway. It's not going to fly at this point. It's crazy. It's crazy. What advice do you give when the witnesses get harassed when they are with their kids shopping? That's the saddest part. I can't, there is no advice anybody could give for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any good advice other than take your kid and walk the other way, because but again, you also have to think about, you can only push someone so much before they react, right? And that's why there's this thing called reactive abuse, where somebody has already ignored it and not reacted a billion times, to the point where it all builds up inside to that one last time someone does it and you just snap back. And it's like, okay, they yelled or screamed, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, so even if they did react, which they don't, but even if they did at some point, I would not ever fault them for reacting at some point, because how much can one human take before they do react, right? How much? How much is it okay to throw on someone before it's okay for them to react? Which is why back when the whole like Mary Lindsay thing happened, like, I wouldn't fault Lindsay for reacting, because at what point is someone going to react, right? If you keep pushing on someone, talking shit, spewing lies, at what fucking point do you expect that someone's going to react? You can't just then say when they react, well, they're a bad person because they reacted. And that goes for anyone. If I was pushed a billion times and ignored it a billion times, and then that billion and 1th time I flipped the fuck out, I have every right to. At what point as a human am I allowed to not be perfect? You know what I mean? No one's perfect. We're human. We're perfectly imperfect. That's the point. That's the literal point, you know? Yes, the documentary, but there were other deals that were offered, things that were completely separate. The documentary he was doing was already happening, but now there's other people involved in that documentary, and I don't think it's going to come out the way he wants it. I don't think it's going to come out as all hail TB the way he thought it was going to. I honestly think it's going to be more of a mockumentary than a documentary. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Oh, the Bohm case. See, I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. You guys can like Alan Jackson for the Karen Reed case. That's all well and good, whatever. But at this point, like the Bohm case, like, that's not a fucking accident. You're not driving over 100 miles an hour as an accident. You hit people who weren't even in cars. These were pedestrians. They were outside of vehicles, and 4 women died. I don't know how you defend that as, oh, he's running from a road rage incident, so he needed to do over 105 for road rage that no one else saw and he never mentioned until right now. Come on. No one believes that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah, a mockumentary. That's what I mean. A mockumentary. That's what I honestly think it's going to end up as, is a mockumentary, and not a documentary, a mockumentary, Well, they deserved it. What? That's weird. That's a weird flex. That's a weird fucking flex, The Bach, yeah, Ernie Bach's place there. I don't believe she's suffering. I mean, let's be honest about that. If you were spending money on the steak dinners and on the high class hotels and all that, that doesn't scream, I have no money in the bank left at all. If you didn't, you'd live like me and you wouldn't be going out to steak dinners ever. So that doesn't make sense. You certainly wouldn't be staying at a hotel in Boston when your parents' house would have been closer to Dedham than a hotel in Boston, a high-class hotel in Boston. You wouldn't have to be holed up there when you could just go to your parents' house. And you know what I mean? Like, paying over $100,000 to stay in a hotel versus saving that $100,000 and staying at your parents does not scream, I'm about to be broke. It just doesn't make sense. Well, that's the other thing. There's a Venmo, there's a PayPal, there's a CashApp, and then there's a fund. Like, at least during the criminal trial, there are all these different avenues. So what was made in the big one that everybody could go look at, it's not the actual amount that was raised. You have to add in all the personal Venmos, all the personal Cash Apps, all the personal PayPals, all the, you know what I'm saying? All the cash, all the checks, all the everything, all the everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me in my early 30s, I'd probably just, replace your teeth with chiclets. But, me at my old age now of almost 39 on Friday, I have a little more restraint than that. You poke me back then, I just react, because at that point, I just didn't give a fuck. I have no patience for stupidity at that point. But I have a little more patience in my late 30s than I did in my early 30s. I'll tell you that much. Yes, everyone needs an attorney, but this is civil. She's choosing to go forth, let's be clear here, with a civil suit that she isn't going to win, right? I want to be very clear when I talk about this. Karen Reed is not going to win that civil suit that she filed. It's essentially flushing money down the fucking toilet. All right. So she's choosing to start a civil suit. This isn't a criminal suit. This is a civil suit. Why are you raising money for a civil suit towards people that you helped a turtle harass? It doesn't make sense. She's not going to win a civil suit. And so it's essentially throwing money in the toilet and flushing it down the drain, in my opinion, because there's nothing in a civil case that she could win against any of the witnesses. If she wanted to sue maybe Proctor for his phone and the things that she didn't like he said, maybe you could get something there. But that's about the only thing that she could win out of any sort of civil suit that has anything to do with any of these people. I don't know. It's a weird question, but that's the advice I would give them, is to ignore it. And if they can't, they're fucking human. They're human, just like I am. If I fucking snap one time, I fucking snap one time, He probably did, He probably did. She was having the time of her life. They all craved the drama and attention. She cried when they went home. Well, I mean, that's weird. The drunk. Oh, Bohm. You mean Bohm? Yeah, the guy from is it Florida or California? It's California, right? It's California. I know he needs an attorney, and okay, he has Alan Jackson. Cool, but at the same time, my opinion, at least on that case, is it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't think that the Bohm kid is gonna get off scot-free just because he has Alan Jackson as an attorney. You're driving over 105 miles an hour, my dude. No, he wasn't drunk either. So you can't even make the excuse that he was like drunk. You knew what you were doing. You were cognizant enough to know. That's the problem, I was not on Twitter. Fun fact, I literally fell asleep at like 6. Hubby held up the house. I was so tired from being up late night Saturday, doing the party, and I was up early Sunday morning for the food and stuff. And damn, I was tired. So by like 6 o'clock, I was out like a light. And so I missed whatever the fuck happened last night. I have not even gotten a chance to catch up on any of that because I was asleep, obviously, until this morning. And then I took the call and I came here. So I still got to catch up on what the hell went on. Yeah, sorry, my bad. That's my bad. I mean, most people would, right? Call someone like that if you could afford it. But I'm saying just because Alan Jackson is his attorney doesn't mean that it's going to work out for him. In my opinion, his story is not going to hold up. You know what I mean? TV is so aggravated that Karen talks to them. Talks to who? Oh, you mean JFK? Yeah, that's probably the reason why he goes after them. Let's be honest, Oh, yeah, see, I have no idea. Didn't see it. Did not see it. And, oh, yeah, that, right? That judge is definitely not Beverly Cannoni. That's for sure. 100% not Judge Cannoni. That judge is not playing any games. The judge in the Bohm case, right, was a judge that I was like, wow. Like, this judge, it was like, well, plenty of people, Mr. Jackson, want to hire an Alan Jackson. But we're not going to, because remember, they lowered Bohm's bail from $8 million to $4 million. Jackson wanted them to lower it from 4 down to 2. So he wanted them to slice it in half again and give him back $2 million so he could use that $2 million to pay Alan Jackson. And so the judge was like, Mr. Jackson, a ton of people would love to have their bail back to pay for an Alan Jackson, but that's just not the way it works. We've already halved his bail. We're not doing that again, right? And the judge was right on, though. Like, that's true. He's already got a bail reduction. Reducing it by $2 million more just to pay you, not going to happen. If he can't afford you, he's going to have to get a different attorney, That's just weird. I don't know what happened there. And I'm so confused at this point that I feel like I live in fucking La La Land, I just feel like I live in the upside down universe at this point. All the weird shit that's going on. I'm like, what the fuck is actually happening in life? Okay. Like, what is happening? That's okay. We know he wasn't drunk. He took, I think I don't know what test he took, but they said he wasn't intoxicated. Like he was completely cognizant. So it's like that makes it worse for his case, the Boehm case. Like you can't even say you were drunk or impaired or took a new medication or you know what I mean? Because that didn't happen. So road rage was the best they could come up with. Road rage. Running from a road rage innocent. We're running from road rage. And that's why we need to do 104 miles an hour and kill pedestrians and crash into other vehicles. What? Like what? I know it's weird, right? I don't understand why. Like why? What did James Jackson ever do to him? Nothing. He didn't do anything to him. I feel like we are. I feel like we are, right? Like I live in fucking La La Land at this point. Like what is what this is like, has anybody ever watched the old Beetlejuice animated version? Not the movie, but the animated version from like 1990, right? Anybody ever watch that cartoon? Yes. Yes, I said Beetlejuice. I said Beetlejuice. So, right, in the old cartoon of Beetlejuice, because like in the La La Land of commercial of Beetlejuice, Lydia and Beetlejuice are friends, right? They're friends. And so where Beetlejuice lives is called the Neither World. The Neither World. All right. We live in the fucking neither world. All right. That's what I feel like. We live in the goddamn freaking neither world with the shit that happens. All right. I don't fucking understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. We live in the goddamn fucking neither world because I wake up in the morning and I got text messages and people are like, this happened and this happened and this happened. And I'm like, am I still asleep? Is this still a dream? If I say Beetlejuice 3 times, will he appear in cartoon form? What is happening right now? Like, what in the actual fuckity fuck is going on? Like, I am so confused. I don't understand. Was he invited to trial? Was that a thing? See, I didn't keep up back then with really knowing like who they were or their channel. Like, did they go to the trial? Is that like or was he invited to the civil trial? Well, apparently she's not wrong because that's not it's not currently happening, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's not that things surprise me, but I do feel like sometimes it's like getting out of the clown car where you don't know how many clowns are going to come out of the clown car, right? It's like dun, 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 and then you're like 10 clowns that are coming out of the clown car and there's like still 15 more in this teeny tiny Tonka truck of a clown car, and there's, fucking 75 more clowns are going to pop out of it, and you don't even know how. You don't even know how. And that's where I feel like we're fucking at. Like, it's a legit clown car circus, and there are just more clowns that keep popping out of the fucking clown car. I'm just saying. All right? Which kills me too sometimes. Did you say Beetlejuice? Yes, I said Beetlejuice. I said it. Yeah, this good. She likes Beetlejuice. She likes old cartoons. All right. We watch old. Yes, I do. We watch old cartoons together. All right. I mean, it's weird. It's fucking weird. All right. Flip ahead. Free flip ahead. I don't know what happened there either, for fuck's sake. Thank you, Mindy. Jessie loves James. She thinks he's the tall glass of water. Mysterious. Alan Jackson claiming that going 2.5 times the speed limit is not malice, therefore not murder. That is fucking wild. Let's be honest. Because when he was the prosecutor, do you not think that he would be arguing that that is malice and it absolutely is murder? Let's be honest here. That is fucking wild. I don't think any judge or jury would be buying that if you're completely sober driving over 104 miles an hour, that it's not malice. Kind of like a fever dream, right? Kind of like a fever dream. Ooh, James Jackson getting all the love over here. Oh my God, you are killing me right now. I can't. Oh, okay. See, I don't see my shit ended when the court, like in court ended. I didn't do a lot of like the outside court after that because I like couldn't take like listening to a rabid mob. I just couldn't take it, you know? OMG. OMGG. Jackson's defense strategy of road rage in that California case is laughable. I thought it was laughable too, Joy. And you being an attorney should know how laughable it is. Like, dude, it's just not going to work, in my opinion. It's just not. You can be Alan Jackson all you want, but the dude was sober. He hit 4 pedestrian college students. No one is going to feel bad for him. It's a huge stretch. I don't think the jury is going to love Jackson on that one. Just a guess. Going on a hunch here. You are not old. Stop that. Look at James Jackson getting all the love over here. To be fair, you mean like give, send, goes, or like donations for like defense? Listen, again, to be fair to creators, every creator needs donations to survive their channel. They just do. If you can't afford to pay out of pocket to cover your costs, then that's the only way you're going to be able to cover your costs. I'm a small channel. I can't cover it without the help of you. And then on top of that, then you got to think if you can even make anything after you spend what you spend to cover the costs, right? I've had to let a couple of the subscriptions I have go because I just can't afford them. Like I can't. And I still have to have the ones that I like have to run it. So I think every creator needs them, right? Like, do I think that a civil suit that they're choosing to do to sue someone, if you really don't have a reason to sue them, should be paid for? In Karen Reed's case, no, right? She doesn't have a reason to be suing anyone. The witnesses have a reason, right? They have a reason, a very good reason. They've remained quiet and still got nothing but people like following them around, taking their pictures, talking about their children, talking to their children. Like, it's went beyond. And these are shit that people have done to me. So I know what it's like. It's not, they can't just log off and it'll go away. It's in real life. Okay. So I understand that. But Karen's case is just the only person she has any claim against really would be Proctor. And even in that case, like, it's going to be a hard win. Okay. She's not going to win anything against the witnesses in the case. It's just not going to happen by any stretch of the imagination. So asking people to pay for that, a choice you made, and then you're asking for it to be $500,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. Teletubby. Oh my God. That's so funny. Do you remember I remember Teletubbies. My sisters used to watch Teletubbies when they were little. He's too baby faced for you. Well, to be honest, I honestly don't think he could have got it done all on his own without a lot of noise from the public, because that's really what tainted some of the jury was public noise. Yeah, your math ain't mathing on that one, dude. You're going 3 times the speed limit. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely malice. It's you're not doing that. That's weird. To block you just for being my mod is kind of weird. I have no beef with them or their channel. I mean, that's just weird to me, to block people simply for being someone else's mod, especially a mod of someone who doesn't attack your channel, has nothing to say about. I don't know them. You know what I mean? I have nothing bad to say about them. It's weird. Weird to just block someone who's a mod of mine just cause. I mean, that's weird. That's fucking weird. Really strange to me. To each their own, but that's just weird to me. A day at a time. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. I'm just hitting my last year in my 30s on Friday. I will be the big 39. So that means next year I will be dropping into the 40s. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel good about it. All right. I don't. I don't. I mean, who fucking knows? They blocked me at one point for just say, like, I was being nice. I was talking to people who knew me, people who was like, hey, nice to see you, blah, blah. And then there was a couple like turtle trolls that came in and were like, why are you here? And I'm like, to listen, just like you. What the fuck do you mean? Right. And I wasn't arguing with anybody other than them attacking me. And then all of a sudden I went to respond to be like, do you see how much the turtles hate has like been ingrained in you that you can't even deal with the fact that I'm just existing? Right. And I went to go write and I hit enter and I had already been blocked or timed out or whatever. And I hadn't even said anything. I was simply just taking attacks at that point. So, but that's good, girl. Listen, that is good. I hope by the time I'm your age, I look like I'm in my 50s. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old. I can't be changing channels. What do you mean? That's what remotes my the clicker. That's what the click is for. The clicker. Yeah, that's weird. But I mean, same thing happened to me. So, and that was a while ago. So who knows? Maybe it's a mod over there that just doesn't like that we exist. I don't fucking know. You know, who fucking knows at this point? I love you guys. I love you guys. We did survive, you know? Damn. He's a boy. He is dapper. Oh, shit. I get it, but I have to at least say what I know, you know, for creators that are the bigger creators don't need that, right? Because they can cover their costs in just like memberships alone every month. When that monthly amount comes in, they can cover their costs. Smaller creators don't have that option, you know? You look like a Teletubby. Teletubbies. My sisters love Teletubbies. I'll never forget that show. Teletubby, you know? Teletubby. People sent mods to my friend's show to bug you. I think after 42 was a change, ACL, and have a few knee surgeries and a show. Yeah, see, after my 30s is when I started getting a lot of my health issues, but it was also after I had COVID. So I have what you call like long haul COVID. And so a lot of my immune deficient, like whatchamacallit, like sicknesses, like disease and all that. Like I have arthritis, I have whatchamacallit, psoriasis, I have myocarditis, I have tinnitus, I have like POTS, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, like all the itises. So I have a ton of inflammation in my body, a ton of inflammation in my body, like a ton. And so it all comes from like me having COVID. And this was pre any of the whatchamacallits existing. What do you call them? The vaccines. They didn't exist yet. And so the doctors had to like figure out what was wrong with me. We were like, we don't know, right? And then I moved and changed my PCP, and my PCP started doing all these testings on me to figure out what the fuck was going on, right? Because I go to the doctor for like the regular stuff, but I hadn't been to the doctor for anything serious ever in like 10 or so years. And so the doctor's like, this isn't normal. All these things are happening. And so finally, my doctor started doing other testing and finding what the fuck was going on with me. And so these were things that like COVID brought on, essentially, most of it. The myocarditis is around like your heart. It's like inflammation of like the muscles in your heart. And that didn't exist before that. So I used to get them a lot worse, where I would get like chest pains all over my chest. And it came to the point where it was like every day, and it felt like a heart attack. It would feel like you were having a heart attack. So they have to put the stupid little EKG things all over me and figure out what the fuck was going on. And that's essentially one of the reasons they found the myocarditis. But I didn't have that before COVID, right? So COVID caused a lot of inflammation in my entire body. A lot of the rosacea that you see, all the redness, it's all inflammation in my body. And I didn't have that before. And so, you know, early in my 30s, here I am, and my health is tanking. You know, I have all sorts of medical now that I don't wish on my worst fucking enemy, because the shit is draining. It's absolutely freaking draining. And there's a lot of it that I don't talk about because it's my personal journey, right? And I give you guys a lot of it because I hope that at least other people who are going through it can relate and know that they're not alone, right? That there's other people that are going through a lot of this stuff, too. And so I share so that other people can relate, so that they know that I'm always someone they can talk to about some of that stuff too, because I'm going through it as well. Um, I don't share for anybody to feel bad. I don't need anybody to feel bad for me. I can do bad all by myself. I share because I feel like it's a way to connect to other people. And I know what I felt like when I first started getting, I'm like, damn, am I the only one on planet Earth that has this bad of luck where my health was fine and now it's just not. And when I joined a support group essentially for people who had some of that, and I felt so much better about it, knowing that there were other people I could go to and be like, hey, I'm having this symptom, has anybody had this symptom? You know what I mean? You start feeling better about it when you know there's other people who understand what you're going through. And that's the reason why I share. I don't share for any other reason, and I share because I want people to know that, like, they're not alone. They can come to me, they can talk to me, they can reach out to me, and I will always answer. I know that I have not been good in answering the last couple of days. I apologize. With the birthday party, I was like, up to my friggin' brain cells and shit I had to do. I had to go. Ashley spent the entire Saturday with me running around so I could, get the stuff I needed to get at Walmart. And, I had to do all the food shopping. And so, thank you to Ashley for being an awesome friend and helping me do all the stuff that I need to do because I don't drive. And bringing me to go get everything I needed to get done. So, but if I haven't answered you yet, I apologize. This weekend was been really fucking crazy. Like I said, I went to bed early last night. It was like 6:00. My husband held down the house. I just passed out. He didn't even bother waking me up, which means he knew I was tired because he didn't even bother trying to wake me up. That's how tired I was. So, if I haven't, I'll, get back to you guys. I'll check my emails and my messages and all that after the show today, but I just haven't had a chance yet with the birthday party. Everything was crazy, the moat. I go there sometimes, but they're on late at night and I'm usually passed out by then, New Year's Eve. See, you weren't here the day I wrote down everybody's birthday. So now you get added to said birthday list, Joy. Okay. Birthday list. And fun fact, December 31st, New Year's Eve, was the due date that sorry, we were buffering. Fun fact, that was the due date my mother had for me. And it was the due date I also had for my oldest. And we both came a month early. I came a little more than a month early. I think it was like a month and a couple days. And my oldest came a month early. So, but me and my mother, both with our first chillins, had the same due date. And then also a fun fact, for my middle, I had the same due date. So 3 due dates that were on New Year's Eve. My oldest, my middle, and me, my mother had with me. And another fun fact, my youngest, her due date was my birthday, and I only had her a week early. So it went in order of me having my oldest a month early, me having my middle 3 weeks early, and then me having my youngest a week early. Never made it to a due date with any 3 of them. I went early with all of them. To be fair, I guess they wanted out. Well, that's it. All I had to do was exist. That's all I was doing. I was literally just existing. And I know I'm behind in the comments. I'm sorry, but I like to hit them all. I was just existing. Literally existing. That's all I was doing. I was just existing, just being me and existing. And that was it. All I had to do was my name pop up, and all of a sudden, person would be like, oh, hi. And it'd be like, oh, hey, everyone. Having a conversation with somebody completely different. And all of a sudden I'm just bounced. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what happened. I don't know. God damn it. I don't fucking know. Wait, what? I must have missed it. See, I'm behind in the comments. I apologize. But I can only do one thing at a time here. AFib. My grandmother was an AFib. She had AFib as well. I don't know. It's a possibility. I don't know. It's a very real possibility. It was an impromptu, right? Right? Someone told me it was an impromptu. Always, my friend, always add you to the birthday list. So I don't know. I mean, it's a very real possibility because he doesn't usually. I mean, did he move his Saturday show and do it Sunday, or was this just like a Saturday and a Sunday? I mean, it very well could be just a money grab. I mean, it doesn't. Here's the thing. Once again, he said he got a loan for a house. Why do you have a loan for a house? Which means you have to have money in the bank to get a loan for a house. So you have money in the bank, yet you're still asking people to pay for your defense. And a civil. I don't get it. I don't get it. Thank you, Standing. Yeah, I usually use IMO when I'm talking about my opinion because it's in my opinion. IMO means in my opinion, you know? Oh yeah, see, I usually respond. It might not be right away, but I do respond. Probably there's also like a couple second delay from when I speak to when you guys hear it. Because on this screen I'll watch it, right? And it's literally a couple second delay. So I'll speak and then it'll have a couple second delay and then I'll see myself say the exact same thing right here on this screen. So there's a couple second delay. And also if I'm buffering and answering, sometimes we don't catch it, you know? I skip the ones where you guys are saying hi to each other or maybe having side conversations sometimes, but I try to get all the ones where you guys are talking to me, you know? Oh, I'm sure you were, especially doing X-ray, you know? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I wish I could blame it on that. It didn't exist when I got it, unfortunately. It didn't, because like I think there's like a fund or something, like for people who are harmed by a vaccine. Fun fact: my oldest can't have live vaccines because of her medical condition. She literally can't have live vaccines. That's in her chart, and that's been there long before COVID was a thing. But I got sick before the vaccines ever existed, unfortunately. So I can't even be like, oh, it was vaccine. Can't blame it on that, unfortunately, because it was before vaccines ever existed on it. So, yeah. And my fibro also goes into flares where I'll have a flare and it might last a day or it might last 3 weeks or 6 weeks. I never know when and I never know how long. And it's a nightmare. I'll tell you that much, you know? Why not? Why not, Michael? But see, I want people to know they have the option because some guys do want to have someone to talk to. Maybe they don't have anybody in their life, or maybe it's easier talking to a stranger than it is talking to the people that you know, and that's okay too. That's okay too. But I do want people to know that if there's something that they want to talk about, they know how to get hold of me, you know? And I know that a lot of people here are even willing to talk to anyone, you know? A lot of you are really good at that. Like really good at it. You know? You're totally welcome. Overdue, you poor thing. You poor thing. Maybe not, but you know that's what he says, so God knows, you know? Who knows? Who knows? That's a big baby, girl. Bingo, Joy. Mine were 6 pounds, 6 ounces, 6 pounds, 6 pounds, 6 ounces, 7 pounds, 3 ounces, and 7 pound, 10 ounces. Funny enough, my smallest child was my youngest, and she's probably in size, like now she's probably like middle ground. My biggest baby, my smallest baby was my youngest. And so my biggest baby was my oldest, who is actually the smallest of all three. Although to be fair, her disease causes like short stature, weight gain issues, and like issues with her body sort of taking in the nutrients, which is why she has a G tube and she has like this filter sort of on her. Her body wasn't like taking in the nutrients. So they had to add this sort of like filter thing, but nonetheless, she's the smallest of the bunch and she was my biggest baby. So you never know, you know what I mean? Depends on football for him. Could make a football team out of 10-pound babies. I feel like probably everything he does is a money grab. I agree. Yeah, but nobody makes money on spaces. You're not going to make money on spaces. That's weird. Why do spaces? If you're not like, I can do a live with a spaces, right? Like I can do it on spaces. I can do a live, but just doing a spaces, you're not making any money doing a spaces. I never have time for a space, but even if I do, like I'm not going to make any money on a space. I mean, I guess you could, by theory, say like, this is how you donate or whatever on a space, but a little weird, and the monetization on Twitter it's a big threshold to get. I don't even have it, and they pay shit. So I don't even know if it's worth it, to be honest, to try to monetize your Twitter, Yeah, they told me normal that the baby would gain at the last 4 weeks, they would gain a pound a week, although that did not happen. And my kiddo ended up being the 6 pounds, 5 ounces, and then the 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 3 ounces, and 7 pounds, 10 ounces. I don't blame you. It just takes some people a little longer to see it, 13. I had a friend who had a 13-pound baby, and that boy was like a big boy. Like when he came out, he did not look like a newborn. He looked like he was already like a couple months old. 13 pounds. The kid was like 13, almost 14. It was like 13 pounds something else, and she had to have a C-section because he was so big. That's interesting though, Christina. I'm sure he will be, I'm sure he would be. Yeah, some people aren't phone talkers if they'd rather text than phone talk, 6 feet. Tall, very tall. All of mine. Rude StreamYard. I have girls, but my middle is actually an inch taller than me. She's 5'5", and I'm 5'4". So a big head. Yeah, I had my hips. Like at one point, they told me I might have to have a C-section because my hips hadn't moved out enough, and that was with my first. My hips have definitely moved out now. Your dad was a 13-pound baby. That's a big boy. That's probably what he did. That's what I would do if I was going to do a space, which is use my phone and just put it on a space here and then stream like I'm streaming here. That's what I would do. That's a big boy, 13 pounds. My sister had the thing where you itch, but it's not like itching of the skin. It's like inside. And they say that you could have it with every baby, but she ended up not, only with the one. So I had a friend who had the same thing, and I think she had it for all of her kids. Insulin. Geez, my mom's on insulin. She's a diabetic. So she's now on the insulin. She had pills for a while, but it wasn't, now it's got to be insulin. 10 or 11. That's still a big baby. 10 pounds is big for a baby, Yeah, I don't even know why they do it, the like guesstimates, because they're not good guesstimates, Definitely aren't good guesstimates. Yeah, I have 2 people that I know that went from the pills to the insulin because it just wasn't, diabetes wasn't controlled. So they had to, my mother was pretty upset when they told her she had to go from the pills to the insulin. She was not happy about that at all. I don't blame her. It sucks. But you got to take care of your health. This is first and foremost. You got to take care of your health. Believe me, some days I have to take off just because like my health is just not there, like, and I'm like, I always feel bad about canceling a show or not being able to do a show, but I do 6 a week usually. I usually do 6 a week. The only days I don't usually work are Saturdays, right? Even this week I did, I think 5. Like I, took Saturday off like I always do, but I also had to do Sunday for my kid. I was going to do a show yesterday, and then I was so exhausted after the party. I think the last kids left around 4. And I was like, I have to, I told Jesse, I'm like, I was contemplating like trying to just stick through it. And I was like, she's like, go lay down. And I'm like, she's probably right. Like, she's probably right. I probably definitely need to just lay down. Like, Yeah, I think all of my health issues started around 31, 32, somewhere around there. It was early 30s. And I was like, I'm too young for this shit, Like, too fucking young for this crap. Here's what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. My back is junk from epidurals with all my kids. Yeah, but you got fur babies. They're just as busy as regular babies. And they're a lot of work. A lot of work. One and done. She said, I had one and done. 2 epidurals didn't work. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Yeah, well, I have 3, and I'm, this baby factory's closed. It's genetic, yeah. See, we don't know much about health history. My mother was adopted, so it stopped really with my mother. We did find eventually, like I told you guys, I took the DNA test thing back in 2019 and got the results early 2020, but it was during COVID. So, when I figured out like the biological families, there were 2 separate biological families. My mother's mother and my mother's father, both of her biological parents had already passed, so she never got to meet them. And there are siblings that she still has not gotten to meet, but I really haven't gotten much of their medical history other than my mother's half sister has diabetes, but that's the only thing that we know of at this point still that sort of runs in said family. My mother's biological mother died of complications of pneumonia. That's what it says on her death certificate. Complications of pneumonia. And she died in like 84, 2 years before I was even born. And my mother was a teenager. So my mother's father died in 2016 of cancer. So those are the only 2 things we really know about health in her family, biological family, because it kind of stops at my mother since she was adopted. Oh, damn. Yeah, they're not accurate. I told my sister that. My sister asked me a lot of questions when she had her first child, and me and my sister are 7 years apart. I'm 7 years older than my sister and 9 years older than my other sister. And so I gave her all the advice I could, obviously, because at that point I had already had 3 children. And 5 pregnancies. So I gave her all the advice that I could. My youngest here is my rainbow baby. And so I gave her all the advice that I could. And actually afterwards, she was like, you probably gave me the best advice out of anyone. A lot of that stuff isn't accurate. It's just their best guess. And their best guess isn't great, just not great. Yeah, my back will never be the same. It's junk from being a passenger in accidents. I've gotten to 1 car accident ever as a driver. 1, back when I was 18. Everything else has been as a passenger, and my back is forever going to be junk because of that and the epidurals. And I have slipped discs, not bulging, but slipped. And they told me like 10 years ago that if I had back surgery, it would be like a 50% chance it would get worse. And so I was like, meh, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to take the 50% chance it gets worse. I'll just deal with the pain I got going on now. Like, I don't want to take the chance that this pain gets worse. And if it's 50-50, I don't want it. I don't freaking want it. I don't want it. I did. I was nonstop, just like doing, like shopping for the birthday party, setting things up. Like, I was tired. I was ready to just nap. And then I just ended up going to sleep for the night. My husband did not wake me up. He was like, she's tired. Like, I woke up, the blanket was on me, put a drink of water next to the bed on my table, my cupcake table that Tracy got me that I love so much. I love my cupcake table. It's a giant cupcake on the bottom and then circle glass on the top. And I love that table so much. It's a pink cupcake. All right. I love it. Girly, leave me alone. All right. There are a lot of risks and complications of epidurals. A lot of things I don't tell you because when they come in to do it, they don't go, oh, well, this is a risk and this is a risk and this might happen and this might happen. They're just like, don't move. And sometimes they make the men leave the rooms. They don't want you distracted. Don't move because if I hit the wrong place, you could be paralyzed. That's literally all they tell you. They don't say like years later, you could have really bad back problems from these epidurals, That's true. They don't go to college because they're fur babies, and you can put them a crate to go to dinner. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, still, what about adoption? Have you ever thought about adoption? I'll tell you, as a kid who was in foster care as a teen, there are a lot of teens out there that are just want to have a family, you know, and they know after age like 12, 13, there's about, you know, a 5% chance they will actually ever be adopted at that point. And I think a lot about them and about how once they just age out, that's it. Like they cut me loose at 17 and a half. Bye. See you later. They don't help you with anything. They don't give you any money. They don't set you up with anything. Thankfully, I did that all on my own, and I had family, I had my grandmother at that point. But what about the kids that don't? They're just like, yeah, bye. See you later. You know? I mean, I can agree some people shouldn't, probably, you know? Some people shouldn't. But I also think that a lot of the things that happen, so think about some of the shitty things maybe some of our own parents did, you know, that at least taught me things not to do. You know what I mean? As a parent. So, I mean, I do think that we as people also have agency where some of those things we can just, you know, you don't pass down because you know they're horrible, you know? Well, thank you, Joy. I appreciate you. Thank you. No, you're awesome. I missed you. I actually went to go send you an email yesterday and I got distracted by my husband calling my name in the kitchen because he needed help. And I didn't finish it. So it's technically in my draft still right now. Because I just want to check on you and see how everything was going. I know you were planning on moving at one point and you were packing the house up a couple months ago. And so I just want to see how everything was going with you. But it's in my draft right now because that happens half the time where all of a sudden I will be doing something and boom, I will be distracted by the giant man-child or the little minions. Little minions, or the giant 35-year-old, 36 now, 36-year-old man-child. I forget who I was on the phone with. I think it might have been Benny I was on the phone with the other day. And I was like, oh, well, the man baby, you know, over here. And Benny's like, oh, bless his soul. And I'm like, bless his soul. And my husband's like, yeah, bless my soul. I'm like, don't let him have a head like that. All right. Don't let him. He is needy. All right. He's a needy man child. Well, I didn't send it. It's in my drafts, but just know it is coming at some point when I finish the stupid thing. I got distracted enough that I didn't get to finish writing it and send it. But no, it's half written and it will come. Oh, vacation. But I'm a big believer on making memories, right? Instead of like things, you know? Like I would rather bring my kids on a trip than buy them things. You know, like maybe like you know, something like what my grandmother made me, you know, like if we saw something like this in a small store, it's like something to remember the trip by. But like I would rather buy them experiences than things, if that makes sense. You know, things are nice, but experiences are better. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Pepper. My grandparents were big on that. Come on, StreamYard, you're so freaking rude today. My grandparents were big on that, like experiences and trips and doing things together versus like things, you know? Like I think Christmas and your birthday was like the only time you really got, you know, or Easter basket, you got things. Every other time was like, we're going to do this together. You know, like we're going to take this camping trip together, or we're going to go do this, you know, even if it was something small, like plaster fun time, right? Like even the adults got a plaster and painted, you know, like it was a thing to do together and have that memory, because I have a lot of memories of stuff like that with my grandparents, and they're the best memories. They're the best memories. And I want my kids to pass that along to their kids one day, you know? Listen, girl, I told you you needed to come this summer. So next summer it is a must, right? Like Saco is fun. It's a blast. We had an absolute blast. My sister-in-law is freaking hilarious. You put me and my sister-in-law together and we are ridiculous. All right. You would not stop laughing because we're just ridiculous. We're like big goofballs. Goofballs. All right. And we had an absolute blast. And this year we could actually stop on the river and sort of pull up. Usually when the river is too high, it's going too fast and it's deep, you're not going to be able to pull everybody with the string over. But since it was so low this year, we were kind of able to get out and like stop in that one spot and just stand there without like floating, you know what I mean? Because the current is too fast if the water is high like that. 2 years ago, the water was so high you weren't stopping anywhere. It was about 8 feet higher than it was last year. And we always do the same time, end of July. It's always the end of July, in the beginning of August, because that's when the river water is the warmest, is during the last bit of July into the very beginning of August. The water is the warmest, and it was warm. It was beautiful. It was an absolute blast. It's a trip we take every year. This year we did an Airbnb instead of camping on the beach. You need a lot more stuff if you're going to do the camping on a beach, like a lot more. So you have to have multiple cars filled with the stuff that you're going to need. It was much easier to do the trip of like 2 duffel bags and get an Airbnb. Know what the Airbnb has and that you don't need. And all you really need to do is go grocery shopping, which we did the first day we got up there. We did the grocery shopping. And then, that's all we needed to really do besides hit a liquor store. And so we did. And it's just so relaxing. You're just floating down that river and there's nothing you need to worry about except what drink is in what hand. That's it. All right. So fun. It's so fun, right? That's the thing. We got so many sound effects now. I love that we have sound effects, and then I always forget that they exist. Like this one. Silverados. This is what his heart sounds like. Here, the Silverados are coming. And now it's laughing at me for buffering. Still. This one's the funny one. I don't know why that one's so funny. It just is. It just is. Just is. This one reminds me of Rocket Monkeys, the cartoon. She likes Rocket Monkeys too. Then there's one called Scream Man. That's what it's called. I kid you not. It's called Scream Man. Like, what in the actual hell? What in the actual hell? Let me check the email. Hold on. Thank you, Joy. Joy sends $25. Love you. Even when I get busy and I can't tune in, getting the house ready to sell is much work. Yes, it is, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Joy. We'll drop that little truth bomb skis. Thank you very, very much. Where is your next adventure, Leah? It's a good question. I supported Karen and never gave her money. Michelle said, Aiden, I cannot stand and will not give him a penny. He gets so unhinged over Karen. I think he thought they were going to do. So I've explained this before, but in reality, what he thought was going to happen, and this is what he said, privately to people, was that he actually thought that when the case was over, they would get movie deals and book deals together and TV show deals, and they would, basically travel together and do these things and be rich and famous. And when she said no to some of these things that had anything to do with him, he got pissed. So, no. Well, technically, it was snowing at Jesse's yesterday, and for a few seconds, my husband yelled and said, I think it's snowing here too. And it's right after I said to him, like, oh, it's snowing at Jesse's. He's like, maybe 25 minutes later, he's like, it's snowing. And we got like a couple little flurries and then it stopped. But other than that, no, we haven't gotten any snow. The last 10 years, I'd say, I think the last big storms that we had, like all winter or like a couple were back in 2014 and 2013. We haven't gotten any storm. Mostly after that, it's been like 1 or 2 small snows and that's it. Like not, you know, or one storm and that's it. You know what I mean? Like one storm with a couple feet and that's it. We haven't gotten a lot in years. I think the last 2 years that I remember there being a ton of snow, like all winter long and storm after storm, was 2013 and 2014. Other than that, we've gotten like one storm and then one dusting or like 2 dustings some years and no storms. It just depends. But, you know, oh God, do I even want to look? Do I even want to look? Rude, StreamYard. Rude. Absolutely rude. So rude. So rude. Where is it? Yeah, that was only in certain areas though, Casey. And that was one. That's what I mean. Like we might get, oh, it's them boxing. What a fucking stupid thing. That's what I mean by like one or two, like we've gotten like one big one and that was only like concentrated into like the South Shore area. So if you lived on the South Coast, like I do, we didn't see much. We saw like half as much as what they saw. You know, it was concentrated to like a very small area of the South Shore. Like north of Boston didn't get as much as they did that year. And so again, that depends. It depends. And we've gotten maybe one storm a winter for like the last 8 or so years, and then a couple like 2 inches of snow or 3 inches, which is nothing here. That's essentially nothing. A couple feet is different, but even when a couple feet comes, I'm not seeing it where I live because I don't live in the South Shore. I live on the South Coast. So it's a little bit different. So say for instance, I'm 20 miles from them. They could get 5 feet and I might get 6 inches. It really just depends. And so for the since like 2013 and 2014, we were getting storm, like once a week or like, 2 a month, like, and the snow just never stopped. Right. All of last year, there was like maybe 2 dustings. That was it. We didn't really see much snow. And so that's how it's been for many years, where we might get one storm all winter, or we might get 2 or 3 little dustings, but that's it. Not anything like it was back in 2013 and 14, where it was like storm after storm after storm, and it was like the whole state and it was everywhere. And that was a lot of snow, Yeah, see, she's in the South Shore. So where they got that storm, we got snow, but we didn't get nearly as much as they did. The totals there were much higher than where I live. And I'm not far from there. So if you know what I mean, like it could be wildly different just a few miles away. That's the glory of living in New England. It could snow. Does anybody remember the April 1st snowstorm? We had one on April Fool's Day, and it was feet and feet of snow on April 1st. Yeah, see, I mean, it doesn't shield me. It just, for some reason, sometimes if I get it here on the South Coast, they might not get it in the South Shore. It can be wildly different on one side of the highway versus the opposite side. But that's part of living in New England. New England is unpredictable when it comes to the weather. Snow is, you never know. But I have noticed at least the last 8 to 10 years that we've gotten much less snow than we did 2014 and back. Yeah, we're not far, but we're not super close either. So it's, we live in the same state, and Massachusetts is tiny. So not as small as Rhode Island. You can cross through the entirety of Rhode Island from Massachusetts to Connecticut in 45 minutes to an hour. Still small. Oh, so many of the best games, though, have been won in snowstorms. Some of those are some of the like best Patriots games you'll never forget is when it started snowing. You know what I mean? Like we'll never forget some of those simply because it was snowing. They were really good games. Time is it? 2:30 already. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're not super close, but we're not super far either. Actually, I'll be in your neck of the woods for Thanksgiving. Funny enough. And I don't have to cook. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because I don't know. My back is not cooperating these days. I'm old. I have this high sort of chair in the kitchen that if my back is really bad when I'm cooking, I will bring it right up to the stove and sit in it because my back is hurting so bad. It starts to make my legs feel like jelly because my back is that bad. Especially if I did a lot of like bending over, like vacuuming and sweeping. Then by the time nighttime comes and dinner comes, I'm like, I am ready to be done with this day. That's when I do like an easy meal, like a taco ring or making tacos or making, cheeseburgers and French fries or I know I'm not an age, like age-wise, I might not sound old, but my body itself is old. And I know I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of the wear and tear on my body is probably from dancing for so many years. You put a lot of it's like people who type for a living and they get carpal tunnel, or people who cut hair, they get carpal tunnel from their hands. Like a lot of my body is from like here down. And I did a lot of dancing. My legs are junk, my back is junk, like, you know. Oh, I stretch every morning. Every morning. I have to, or I'll be too stiff from the arthritis. I have to. So I do a lot of stretching. I do a lot of hot compresses, because I have to. Otherwise, my body is way, way, way too stiff. And then it hurts even more, you know? Nah, girl, that's a filter. It's a filter. That's a filter. We put a filter on to get rid of my rosacea. You guys can see it through the filter. All this redness right here in my cheeks and here. StreamYard lets you put a filter to just smooth your skin out. So it doesn't do anything else other than just smooth out the look of your skin, which is fine. That's fine with me. It smooths out the rosacea and my skin is dry, like dry. Did you miss the part where I'm going to strap Nerf guns under people's chairs for a wedding? I kid you not. I am like a little child sometimes. All right. I feel you on that, Jim. Up here, very childlike sometimes. All right. There's plenty of things that I want to do that I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's go play laser tag. Well, I don't know if my body will let me, but let's try. I'm like a little kid. Like, I would love that. That is so fun. One time we did virtual reality laser tag. I kid you not. All right. This was last year. I think we did. It was last year. We did virtual reality laser tag at the place that does like go-karts and stuff. And we did that. And it was fun. I wish it had been a bigger area though. It was kind of small, but it was so fun. I don't know. You just turn it on. This one is specific to just smoothing out your skin tone. That's it. And you turn it on. That's it. StreamYard gives you an option for that. It's like its own option, like filter, and it just says smooth out skin appearance. And you just click on it and just smooths out your skin appearance. That's it. Because I have a lot of redness in my cheeks, like right here, essentially, right here. And my skin is extremely dry from the psoriasis. And so it helps just smooth the look of my skin out on camera. That's it. It doesn't get rid of my grays. It doesn't change my face other than just smoothing out the look of my skin. And you can even see the rosacea clear through the thing. It's just redder off camera than you guys can see on. So, I mean, it does an okay job, just doesn't do, a great job. Like I got a pimple right here. Don't ask me why. Okay. But I have one. I feel like a teenager lately where I'm getting pimples. I don't get pimples. All right. But again, my skin is junk at the moment. I need a good like scrub and like a good facial for my skin. That's what I need. Like maybe like has anybody ever done like a seaweed wrap for your body? I've always wanted to do one of those. I feel like those would be good. But to like, get rid of dead skin and your pores. And like, I need one of those for my face and probably my body, my skin in general, but it's so dry. But I know that like Instagram, my husband calls it Insta Twitter. I don't use Instagram, but I know Instagram like has filters that you can like actually put on, I think, while you're taking pictures. I don't know. I don't use Instagram. And like I said, my husband calls it Insta Twitter and Snapagram because he doesn't use any of those. So he makes fun of them by calling them Snapagram and Insta Twitter. It's his name for those social medias is Snapagram and Insta Twitter. Filter is broken. I mean, yeah, but at least be honest about using a filter. I use a filter and all it does is, you know, it doesn't change the way I look. This is how I look in person. It just smooths out my skin. So instead of you guys getting like most of the redness right here on my cheeks or whatnot, it just smooths it out. But some people actually, I mean, Instagram, like they have filters that like make your face smaller and like, I don't know, it looks weird. I would never want to use those because they just change the way you actually look. I don't want to change the way I actually look. I just wanted the redness to go down. And thankfully, StreamYard has that option to be able to smooth out your skin with the that one. It's like a box you check. That's it. So hey, whatever. I guess if I had wrinkles, it would probably smooth those out as well. I don't really have wrinkles, but I guess technically, since it's a filter that smooths out skin, I assume it would also smooth out some wrinkles if they weren't too prominent. Thankfully, at age 39, I can successfully say I get some when I do this, but like right here, I think everybody does. And maybe, no, I don't even have full head ones. I don't really have wrinkles yet. You know, when I hit 40 next year, talk to me then. Talk to me then. If she says she doesn't use a filter, she would just be lying. She clearly is. I mean, I don't know. Nobody cares if you use a filter. Just don't lie about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, nobody cares if you use them, but why lie about it? It's weird. You know what I mean? It definitely makes it obvious in person. She's got a ton of wrinkles and she's got to be used. She uses StreamYard, so she has to be using the StreamYard doesn't have like multiple options. It's one option. One single. It's just one option. You just check that one box that says filter to smooth your skin. That's it. So it's very clear that she uses that filter. Why lie about it? It's fucking weird. You know? Yes. Why? It's weird. She looks like a whole new person simply because it smooths out her wrinkles, which is what made me think of that to begin with, which is like, okay, it smooths out your skin. But then I thought about it and I'm like, I guess if I did have wrinkles, it would smooth them out. That's why she looks like a different person. Is because it smooths out her wrinkles. I don't have wrinkles, so it wouldn't make me look like a different person. I want to hear that. I do. I want to hear what Alan Jackson has to say about it. I don't know if we're, you know, we will, but I do want to hear him make a comment about it. He probably won't, but at this point, why not? Fuck it. Why not, Alan? Tell us what you think of the sewer turtle, please. But yes, I think the reason that she looks like that is because she's older than me, has wrinkles. I don't have wrinkles, so it won't change the way I actually look, other than taking some of this redness in my cheeks away. You know, I have rosacea. So, and again, that's part of the psoriasis, the inflammation in my body, and that's what dries out my skin. And it's like, I use a lot of stuff that I used to get. I don't get BoxyCharm anymore. I wish I did. I love BoxyCharm, which is now Ipsy, but it's, you know, the full-size products, not the small ones. But I have a lot of really great products that I have gotten from those boxes that have helped. Like, I like Belief Balm. That's a good one for your skin. And is it Ole Henderson? Hold on. Ole Henriksen. That one has like it's like a green sort of thing that helps with like rosacea, and they have a banana brightening, like high C. They also have what's called Sunday Riley, spelt differently. Riley, and it's got some really good vitamin C face cream. I had it at one point. It worked really well. I don't have it anymore. It's gone, and it's a lot of money, so I can't afford it. But it was nice to get in the box or have it as a choice because it did actually work very well. So when I have like 5 or so creams that I've gotten from that I'm sort of going through. Some of them work well, some of them don't work at all, but it's worth a shot, to try. For sure. Let's see. Let me see real quick. I think. Oh God. Aiden is saying, so I just went to the front of my YouTube, which is it just shows you first like who's live, and then it shows you like all the channels that are live, and then it shows you like things you might have just missed, like streamed 2 hours, 3 hours ago, whatever. And right this very second, because I don't know about you guys, but mine, if you're scrolling down and you put your mouse over something, it'll actually show you what's on the screen right in that moment. And Aiden was just commenting on the Glare is Live, apparently saying that the wiretapping should have remained private between him and Karen. It's like, you think everything that you do wrong should be remained private, but does any of the things that you attack anybody for remain private? Just asking for a friend. No, why would he think that he gets that courtesy after harassing people and fucking trying? Like, first of all, let's be clear here. He makes shit up and adds things in to like try to make somebody be a bad person, right? Why would he think that anything he does is going to be private while you're out there just like poo-pooing anyone that like looked at you wrong or you don't like the way they look or breathe? That's ridiculous. To be that delusional in your fucking mind that you have made a living off of like shitting on other people, that the things that you do wrong are magically going to just be overlooked and should remain private, is fucking delusional. All right. Wait, who? Melanie Little? Since we're talking about Mel, I'm sorry if it was mentioned earlier. It wasn't while I was in Twitter hell. It is Twitter hell. I agree with you there, Jim. But I saw a clip where she promoted the Alberts, etc. Defense Fund. Interesting. Interesting. I don't have an iPhone either. I have an Android, but that's also interesting. I did not know that they had that. Conspiracy stuff? I'm just kidding. Love you. And just called out a chatter that is in many chats, I believe in his as well, on X over her call in on Spaces. Who's calling on Spaces? I'm so confused. Melanie's? Bye, love you. Mama Llama? Is that who you're talking about? Like, did she make a post on? Let me see. I shall look. Twitter. Oh, the sewer turtle. Weird. Why would he do that? That's weird. The delusion is real. All right, we live in go. Okay, I'll look. Hold on. Hold on. Here's another clip. Hold on. Who was crying? See, I missed some stuff. I don't know what the hell happened last night because I was passed out. I was so tired. All right. This is a clip of some sort about the spaces that happened last night, I think. I don't know. It says, in light of what we heard directly from Aiden Kearney last night about Fall River's least favorite mean girl, Karen Reed, I wanted to share this again. According to Aiden, she openly refers to one of her top supporters as dummy and worse, mocks every one of them behind their backs. Well, Aiden does that too, just FYI, including Nick and Jenna Rocco, and even refused to let Aiden into the church during the first trial simply because she hated him. Well, he sucks, so there's that. This isn't new behavior. This is who she has always been. Her professor ratings long before John paint the same picture. The mean girl act didn't magically appear overnight. Now imagine this. She's drunk, angry, and turning that same cruelty towards you. You're trapped in her car for nearly 7 minutes. Okay, so I don't know what this says, but I guess we'll listen to it. Let's see. Oh, come on. Stupid friggin' YouTube is gonna. It's 3 minutes long. Oh, I see. All right. Well, I thought it was going to be a clip of him, but it's not. It's lots of, see, I hate when that happens because the music itself is going to be one of those things that, like, gets me on the thing. Okay. I honestly don't understand how any of you can support, fund, or encourage this kind of depravity, even what's more disturbing is that 99.9% of you are women with daughters cheering it on. For those who see what's happening and want to help the people who have been on the receiving end of abuse and harassment, please consider donating. If you can't donate, please share. If you can't share, okay, a prayer.
Who lied on the stand during a murder trial. How do you plan on clearing your names? You want to do this all over again? Is that what you're saying, Denise? The children, the fucking children. Nobody gives a fuck about your stupid children. Okay,
most people do give a fuck about children.
Allie McCabe, not a child. She actually is a.
She was when you were harassing her.
Who lied on the stand?
Oh my
during
God.
a murder.
Let's be clear. Allie McCabe didn't lie on the stand during a murder trial. That's fucking ridiculous.
Trial and got somebody away, helped somebody flee a murder scene.
A minor.
That's what she did.
Oh, help somebody flee a murder scene. Let's correct that real quick. Colin Albert left before John and Karen ever arrived out front. So how do you flee a murder scene before said murder has happened? Anyone? This is the brain. This is your brain on drugs, folks. All right. This is what it looks like. It looks like Dick knows Aiden Kearney. All right. That's what it looks like, in my opinion. You can't flee a fucking murder scene before said murder even happens, you dipshit.
And then cried about it like a bitch.
Oh, you cry about things like a bitch? Well, we knew that. Thanks for telling us, Dick Nose. We appreciate that, but we already know that you cry about things like a bitch. You do it all the time.
Fake fucking cry that her mommy taught her.
Oh, God. Who taught you your fake cry, bub?
Yeah, Allie McCabe is a spoiled.
I can't. No. Skipping you talking about a fucking somebody who was a child.
White privileged fucking.
Okay.
Her thug friend, right? Escape a fucking murder scene.
Once again, you can't escape a murder scene before said murder even occurs, you fucking idiot.
Lied about it, got on the stand, fake cry.
Once again, he just says the same 3 things over again, I suppose. Okay. Well, that's what he complains about. I can't listen to nonsensical bullshit that can easily be debunked. It doesn't make sense. You can't. You cannot flee a fucking murder scene before a murder has happened. All right? You just can't. I'm trying to find the one from 7 hours. Oh, here we go. Melanie Little.
People think it's disgraceful.
I can't. Oh, here we go.
People think it's disgraceful what happened to them. And you too can go to the GiveSendGo/defending the truth to give if you feel it necessary. I mean, look, equal time. If you feel that you need to donate to the McCabe's and the Alberts and the Higgins families, by all means, I'm sharing their message with you. Because not only are they going to help themselves by paying for their lawyers, they're going to help other victims if there's any money left over. People think it's disgraceful what happened to them.
Yeah, people do think it's disgraceful because they were witnesses and, I agree with you, Joy. I agree with you. I mean, you can't flee a murder scene before said murder has occurred. You can't. That's not a thing. Just let's make that clear. You cannot flee a murder scene before a murder occurred. Colin Albert, proven, by the way, by science and data, never had anything to do with anything. He was at his cousin's house. He had called Allie for a ride. Allie picked him up and brought him home before Karen and John ever arrived at the house. Not even Karen Reed herself disputes that. Okay? The times are nailed down by her phone, his Waze data. Okay? We know what time she arrived, and we know what time Colin left. Colin left before Karen and John arrived out front of the house. So you cannot flee a murder scene before said murder has ever occurred. You dumb fuck. I mean, really. Karen Reed herself cleared that up, by the way. She also cleared up that Colin Albert never had any beef with John whatsoever at all, not even a little bit. So I really don't even know why he keeps repeating things that he knows are a lie. Simply because he thinks it'll help him. That's why. Simply he thinks if he just spews out more hate and nonsense, more people will donate to his defense fund and believe that he's the victim of what? I don't know. He's not a victim. He likes to call other people a fake victim. He is the perpetual fucking fake victim. Sad. It really is. You can't flee a murder scene before a murder occurred there, bub. Just say it. Just doesn't take Jimmy Neutron to figure that out either. You cannot tell the truth unless you're Miss Cleo, I guess. You know, we played Miss Cleo the other day, but unless you're Miss Cleo, pretty sure you cannot flee a murder scene before said murder has occurred. Just fucking saying. Just saying. Wowza, I missed a lot. Holy shinoni. I cannot. I fucking can't. You would think that most people would use their own brains to go, hold on a second, that don't even make sense. Especially when he's lying about certain things. I feel like it's not that difficult to be like, okay, that thing he's saying is clearly a lie, right? That thing that he's talking about did not happen, right? But yet, because people are filled with so much hate and rage that he has filled them with, they don't even think about it. They just repeat it like a parrot instead of going, hold on a second. What he's saying right there doesn't make any sense because of this data and because of what Karen specifically already stated and because this, and this. Those times, he was already gone. So wait a second. Hold on. Sewer Turtle's lying here. No one who follows him actually uses their brain cells enough to actually figure that out. They just go with what he says and do the fake outrage and the fake, oh my God, these people are horrible. It's like, it would have taken you not even 2 minutes to figure out that isn't true. You know what I mean? I was going to say, so same as every other day? Same, Jim? Same as any other day, yeah? I can't. I can't. You are correct, though, Jim. It's like same as every other day, right? Like, fuck, man. You know, I was thinking about maybe doing a spaces later, but the spaces won't be about, like, it'll just be chill. It'll just be like, hey, people can, like, chime in on the conversation on spaces. You know, we can just talk about whatever. I think it's a good place to be able to, like, let people come in and, like, that's the one thing about spaces. You can let people speak. You know, I don't have to let trolls speak. That's the great part of it. I can be like, oh, this person is a troll that I know to be a troll. No, we don't want to fucking hear from you. Go to someone else's space and talk. And then I can let people talk who are here and don't have a chance to do that and have like an actual conversation. And I think we should do a spaces. I think I'm going to attempt to do a spaces tonight. I think that'll be fun. It won't be like a super duper long spaces. We're talking about like an hour probably. But I think it would be fun to do a spaces and have you guys, or the ones who are on Twitter at least, be able to sort of talk. You know, I want to hear from some of you guys. I don't get to hear from you here on my show, obviously, because I don't do open panels for various reasons. But I think it would be fun to do a space and like talk. Earl Pink Gray was the person crying. Bunch of people talking a ton of shit about her, but she's an older lady, emotional, having to talk to a monster. Oh, that's sad. I don't like that. I don't like why are we attacking an older lady? Like what is the problem? I have pictures of Blizzard 2022. We all got hit. I mean, yeah, I at the time didn't live in the South Shore area. We got snow. We just didn't get as much as you the people in Canton, Stoughton, and a little bit of Randolph. Like they got a ton. I have a bunch of friends that live in that vicinity. And the pictures that they sent me from like what I was sending them, I was like, this is how much snow we have. And they're like, this is how much snow we have. I'll never forget because I was like, holy shit, that sucks. I do not want to live where you live right now. And again, not like we're far from each other, probably about a 20-minute drive, give or take, depending on traffic, but it was 20 minutes. And just vastly different, you know. She replied to TV referring to herself as the crying lady too. So she's doing well today, at least. That's fucked up though. Like, why are we making fun of people who are emotional or crying or upset? Like, I show my emotions with you guys. I have no problem doing it. And if I'm crying, it's really got to upset me in some way because I'm not a crier. I'm not a big crier. So if it brings me to tears, it's got to be pretty shitty or sad. Because I'm just not a crier. Anybody who knows me knows that. I'm not one of those people that cry. Like I have to be extremely, extremely overwhelmed, or something's got to really be getting to me for me, or it's got to be very, very sad or awful for me to shed tears. And I think that is from a lot of my CPTSD and years of my life being in fight or flight mode, to the point where I was always in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode and your brain and body are in survival mode, you don't have time for crying. That gets put into the background, right? And it sits back here and it doesn't come back to the forefront until you are completely overwhelmed and it just all blows out like a fucking Hiroshima bomb. So I think my brain automatically sort of puts it back here until it's time to explode at that point, you know? What happens if someone challenges TV on his chat? Does he blow up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. He does blow up and insult them, calling them trolls and liars. Yep. He is just as vile the way he treats innocent victims of Karen Sussex. Well, that's what he does, though. And to many other people, not even involved in that case, but just like everywhere, anywhere, you know? Didn't TV dual stream on Spaces and YouTube? I don't know. People are saying he did, so I don't know if he did or if he did a Spaces and a YouTube. I'm not sure. I can do that, but I'm doing a YouTube now, so I just figure if I just do a Spaces later, it's an easy way for me to be able to do Spaces and have, like, I can be cooking dinner and do a space. You know what I mean? I can't do that with YouTube because I'm here with you guys. I can't move all of my computers and my microphone and everything with me to do it and cook dinner. But with Spaces, I can put a headphone in or headphones in and take my phone, have it plugged in, and do a Spaces at the same time. So I think if I do a Spaces, like I said, it's going to be about an hour, give or take. But it allows me to move freely around my home and do things I need to do while doing the space. So I think I will do that probably later. I don't know a time yet. I'll let you guys know, obviously, what time before I do it. It's exactly what he does. Joy did it to the end. He's called Val and James Jackson. It's weird. Like, why though? You know, like why? January 30th after the blizzard settled. Oh yeah, it's in her picture now. Yeah, that's what I mean. Some people got fucking whacked by that storm. And others not so much, depending on where you lived. He did duel. Christina said he did duel. Now he's attacked another person and it wasn't even the right one. Not that any attacks are okay, to be clear. I mean, that's what I mean. He just guesses, I guess, on who someone is, and always is wrong, by the way, most of the time. And like, what? I mean, who is he saying? Like, what's the guess? Like, who's the? Is there a guess? They were at the same time. Didn't even know he was on YouTube because I unsubbed long ago. Yeah, most of us did. I listened to both. Oh, then you realized it was the same. Got it. Being in Worcester, storms are usually crazy because of being the higher elevation. So I'll tell you, when I lived in Pittsfield, Mass, which is closer to New York, we got a lot of snow and it would already get cold. That's in the mountains. It's in the Berkshires. And it would get cold, like say September, when it's still like warm in the South Coast or in Boston or in the South Shore, and it's still like nice and warm. Up in the mountains, it's like 8 degrees cooler, sometimes 10 degrees cooler. So it started getting cold in September. We would get a lot more snow up there than we do here where I live now. There was a huge, vast difference living in Western Mass and the snow we got there and how much than living here. That's, and again, same state, just different corners, you know. Western Mass is like in the map, it's like over here, like from the middle to the corner. And where I live now is like diagonal all the way down, like towards the coast. So it's like one straight line, sort of, but diagonal across the state. So, and I've lived in the same area for 5, almost 6 years. So I like the area I live in. And again, like, I like the people I live near, you know? But I get what you mean with the higher elevation, because it was the same in Pittsfield. We were way high up there because we're in the mountains. Totally valid, my friend. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I got a million other things I do have to do today. And it's 3 o'clock. But we shall be back tomorrow. We shall be back tomorrow. And we shall continue this celebration week. Because technically my birthday is not actually until Friday, but we won't be here Friday and we won't be here Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So I figured a little bit of celebration with you guys this week, and we'll go over some shit and have a little bit of fun. We laugh a little, we cry a little, you know, we do all the fun stuff. I love your stinking faces. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out and subscribe if you already haven't. And duh. You can donate to the channel. You can support the channel. You can support the channel by just hitting the like button and sharing or watching. That's always a help as well. Or there's one of a bunch of other options. You can do CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. All of the options are in the description of the video. All of them are here except Chime, and Chime is the same thing as CashApp. It's literally the exact same. We have a Amazon wish list that's in the chat where you can use your debit or credit card. That's pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description of the video as well. You just click on it, enter any amount. You can remain anonymous on any of them. You can enter any amount on any of them. You can get yourself a good old membership. Make sure you do that at least by the 23rd of December so that you are a shoe-in for the members only for Christmas Eve, because we're having a pajama party and that's going to be fun. So it lasts a month. So if you get one tomorrow, it'll last through the Christmas Eve thing. All right. I love your stinking faces, and I will see you guys in the morning, obviously. Bye.